And welcome to This Podcast Does Not Have a Name, Episode 3 for October 5th, 2021. Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing fine, doing pretty good, all things considered.
Uh-oh.
Not too bad, not too bad.
All things considered.
No, nothing bad, just, you know, life in general. So,
Oh.
I mean, it could be a lot worse, so it could be a hell of a lot worse,
Well, I,
but
I
I'm not doing too
guess
bad.
that kind of segues into I was gonna ask how your last week was.
Well, yeah, I guess I could start, it could have been better if a certain show ended a lot better. So, last week I was talking about how I was nearing the end of the last Super Sentai series. Uh, Apparently I was on the last episode and I had about 10 minutes left of it. And I was telling you that it was all building up to what I was hoping was going to be a good fight between basically the last villain. She basically became a kind of cloud of darkness enemy.
Hmm.
Like she became Cloud or like the embodiment of all evil. And then she resurrected her two sons, brainwashed them, and changed them so that they would be 100% forever obedience to her. I was like, all right, we're going to get this awesome fight. We're going to get all the mechs showing up. We're going to have this big fight between them all, and then they're going to find a way to defeat the final boss. We should have a couple more episodes left in this. Seasons usually run like 52 episodes, and we're only on like episode 50. So they go get a new mech, defeat the bad guys, and then for some reason a beam of energy either they fire or shoots up from the bad guys and defeats her. She just explodes. Like that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it. Just they don't even deal with her. They deal with her two sons, and then she disappears. And I'm like, what? So they couldn't even with the new mech come up with some BS where they like maybe seal her away in something or freeze her and throw her into space or whatever, right? I was expecting something like that at the very least. No, she just explodes from some beam of energy. Don't know how energy defeats her if she's a cloud of pure evil. They don't explain it.
They're like,
I'm dis
eh.
Yeah, I'm disappointed with the build up. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so cool. Like her one son, who's the dragon prince, actually became like a giant dragon. Like, oh, this is cool. And then it's kind of like a wet fart, just just gone. It's so disappointed.
It sounds like, well, we have two more episodes. Screw it. Let's just blow her up
if
now. And
Yeah, it's like they were building up to all this and then ended the series 2 episodes sooner than what they normally end at, but average is like 52 episodes, right?
yeah.
So they were obviously get to the end, but then it seemed like they just couldn't think of a way to defeat her and just went, well, this is the end. Like, oh, that's disappointing. Started up the new series. Uh, so far so good for, Power Rangers. It's Time Force.
Oh
Power
yeah.
Rangers Time Force,
Okay.
which they are time police.
I
So
know.
oh, go on.
I was just gonna say, I know the English version is time for Time Force. Whenever they're about to morph, that's like they're saying.
Oh, that's
I'm like,
awful.
oh God.
I don't remember what they say in Japanese, but they come from four of the members come from the year 4000 or 3000. I mean, so 1,000 years in the future, and they're basically told, they're supposed to help prevent people from screwing around with time because they figured out how to go through time, and they're just trying to now prevent factories in time. And in the first episode, the a prison colony, or not colony, but building, the bad guy gets one of these big like kingpins, I guess, doesn't get frozen. Lots of his minions show up and like basically prevent him from getting frozen and have their own way to go or come up with a plan to go back in time, which was pretty ingenious, I guess, because the Rangers, the whole police force there, were wondering how are they going to go through time? They should have this ability, and they kind of trick them into sending them back in time. And so they've got this huge section of the prison colony thing that they're in that houses like few hundred bad guys that are frozen in time. And so they could just unthaw them now in the year 2000
Hmm.
to commit crimes, petty crimes. Like, you know, I think one person was just like, I'm going to steal some paintings. Like, well, then that's not going to help you in the future because those paintings will be gone in the future. So, or I'm going to steal all this money. I'm like, so how are you going to get back into the future? You don't have the ability to go through time. You'd have to trick the Rangers into sending you back through time again. Or do you plan on living another 1,000 years, which I don't think you can do. So I don't know what their end goal really is, other than to become maybe rich in the past. But everything we've been told of the Rangers in the future is a lot of the stuff that happens in the past doesn't really matter as long as we prevent most of it from happening. Like, because they're 1,000 years in the future, but a lot of the stuff it won't really change. Just prevent some certain big events from not happening. It almost seems like they're talking about like if these bad guys robbed a bank in the past, that really won't affect the future too much. Oh, boo-hoo, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But maybe them destroying the city is going to prevent something from happening,
So
right? So it seems a bit weird, and a lot of time they're like, "Oh, it doesn't matter what happens here." Like, but it kind of does. But also, it kind of doesn't because the future doesn't change very much.
why don't they go back and like kill baby Hitler then?
So they haven't talked about what they've done. So they came up with time. I think this is I'm guessing between 20 and 50 years. I don't remember the exact amount of years since they've had the ability to go through time. But then something must have happened in which they said we can't screw around with time. So I am assuming that they when they had the ability to go through time, someone must have went through time to try and prevent things from happening. Like, get rid of Hitler or do whatever they can to prevent World War II, but it must have screwed something up in the future so bad that they said we can't screw around with time. I'm assuming something like that must have happened so that they would have to have created a time police force to stop time fuckery from happening. But they never mentioned what this case was.
Hmm.
So they haven't said anything like that. They also, again, things that happen in the past don't affect the future that much, but they obviously do. Obviously, they must something that big. So they're trying to prevent the cities from being destroyed. But Power Rangers and Super Sentai, the cities always get destroyed to some extent. So I don't know how they fix it. I thought they would say, oh, we can send nanobots to rebuild these buildings, or maybe the big monster fights happen in like a stopped time kind of thing. But that's not what's happening. The humans in the year 2000 know that there's these monsters on the planet. They know the Time Rangers exist. So I don't know how they kind of wave away this stuff from happening. So one of the things that's funny in the series is you have four members from the year 3000 come back in the past. Uh-oh. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, we're good. Sorry, I thought something happened with the stream. It was on my end. Sorry. Forget me going, uh-oh. So, four members from the past, from the future, come into the past along with the bad guys, and they meet a guy from the year 2000 who ends up becoming the Red Ranger. This is the second era or series I've seen where they've tried to shift the focus away from Red to becoming from being like the main leader and tried to shift it off to someone else. This is the second or third time. Second time I've seen it, they've tried to push the main leader role onto a female character. First one was in Ninja Force? I think it was Kaku Ranger or something like that in Japan, where it was supposed to be Lady or Princess Tsurahime, the White Ranger. She was supposed to be their leader, but they always focus on Red as being the one who holds the group together. And that's what's happening here. You have a female police officer who's trying to hunt down the bad guys and prevent their big plan in the first episode from happening. And she's kind of the leader, but Red's holding everyone together and getting them to work together with each other. And how to adapt to the year 2000. The one thing that's funny is that they're talking about, oh, we can't go back to the future. Well, why can't you? They never gave us the ability to travel back into the future for whatever reason, right? They're kind of stuck there until they can capture all these bad guys. Weird thing is, every time they need to summon their mechs, they have to contact the future, and the future sends mechs, like their mechs, into the past through portals. And then, as soon as the mech fight is done, the mechs shoot the Rangers out from their cockpits, and they go back into the future and leave the Rangers there in the past. And they have actively said, "Why don't you send us back with you? We can monitor everything that's happening in the past from the future. Why don't you send us back with you?" And they don't have contact with anyone, like to communicate with them actually in the future. They can only just comment on what's happening. And there's a robot that can only communicate with them. They don't have direct contact with them, like for back and forth communications. So they're just like, send us back. Why won't you send us back? But the ships, no matter how hard they try and stay in the cockpits, they eject them and just go back into the future. It's kind of funny. So it's like this weird thing, like, what? Just send us back. We don't need to be here in the past, like constantly. We know what happens in the past. Just send us back for like the major events. So it's it's all right as a start to this new Power Ranger series. I wonder what else will happen. Like what kind of twist is going to happen in the future of this in this series. So because they kind of hint at it makes it almost seem like that something in the future is going to happen in this series, but I don't know exactly what though. I don't know what it is, but they've been dropping little hints here and there sometimes of to something maybe happening in the future. I think it has to do with the I personally think it has to do with the uh, relative of the guy who's playing the Red Ranger in the year 2000. I think it's like one of his ancestors, or not ancestors, but uh, future generations. I think someone from his bloodline is going to cause something to happen. For good or bad, I'm not too sure yet. But yeah, I haven't. That's been my rant on Power Rangers. Sorry, it's kind of went on a tangent. Other than that, unless if you've got something to add or to ask me about that.
Yeah, I know the English version. I know I know the English version was pretty similar to that from what I saw. Um, they
Oh,
so the Red Ranger was the one from our time, and the other four were from were the future ones, the future Rangers who came back to our time. And yeah, the Red Ranger was the guy from our time, but the leader, the pink, it's been a while. I think it was the Pink Ranger, but she was like the leader of the people who came back from the future, who are from the future. So it's kind of what you said before when they're trying to make the female the lead role. Sounds pretty
yeah.
similar to what they try to do with the English version. That's all. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. But then, you know how they always Red, no matter what happens in this series, they always focus on Red as either being the leader or the one that's holding the group together, the one that the entire group ends up uh, throwing a lot of the trust into.
Mhm.
Even if that in the most dire situations, no matter how they feel about the character, Red always seems to inspire hope in the characters. But yeah, other than that, I picked up a few games on Nintendo Switch. They had a big sale last week, and I picked up not too many games, spent about maybe 25 bucks. I bought three classic collections. I think I mentioned I picked up the Castlevania Classic Collection last week. They also had, when I looked back on the store, the, oh, what's it called? Contra Collection. So I picked that up. And there was also the Kunio-kun collection, or beat 'em up collection. So it had Double Dragon 1, 2, 3, and it also had the Kunio-kun games like Super Dodgeball, River City Ransom, and a lot of the games in that series. And I really want to play through those games. I think a bunch of them weren't released here in North America, and I think they're added in that collection as well. So I've got a bunch of old games I'm gonna slowly go through. Been playing through first this week. Uh, I finally loaded up and started playing through the first Castlevania game. I'm trying to the last 2 or 3 nights, or before I go to bed, I've been trying to beat a boss. Which one was it? It was. It's got a flea man with him. Frankenstein's monster.
Okay.
I hate trying to fight that boss. He is such a pain in the arms. Frankenstein's monster himself isn't that bad, but it's the flea man that's with him who's jumping around and throwing projectiles at you
You mean
that makes the boss
Igor?
such a pain. If he's has a name, I guess it would be Igor. I think that's what they're trying to make him. But I can't stand fighting him. It's I don't know when I'll be able to beat him, but he'll be a pain to get through. But I am enjoying playing through the game so far. It's so hard trying to go through those old games. Personally, I think I spent like maybe rented the game once or twice when I was young, if I even had money, and I've never beaten the game. I never got that far. So that's what I've been doing. It's tough. As you would know, going through old NES games, they are quite tough to get through.
Oh yeah.
And the knockback on those enemies is pretty real. Like the flea men and the Medusa heads are quite a pain, and they definitely put them in places to make you fail. But yeah, that's what I've been going through. And what about you?
Well, before that, I did play. I have the first Castlevania collection, not the one that just came out, but the first one I have. I haven't played through yet. I did play through all the games and I got all the achievements actually for that one. What's it called? You mentioned it before. Techno's Japan games like Double Dragon and
Oh, the Kunio-kun
yeah.
classic
For
collection.
for
Yeah.
here, they didn't have a collection. They just had each game individually, but I bought them all. But you could tell they were part of the same collection just from
Mhm.
how they were structured on the title screen. But yeah, here for the Xbox versions, they were actually published by Arc System Works, and
Yep.
the developers were ITL. I'm not sure what that is, and also Technos Japan. I'm not sure what ITL is.
I don't know ITL for sure, but it does make sense for Arc System Works. They've been doing publishing or making a lot of the Kunio-kun and Double Dragon games. Like they did, I believe, River City,
Ransom.
River City Girls. So,
Yeah,
and they've been kind of like merging those two franchises together.
and what else was I gonna say? Oh, that's right. The new Castlevania Collection game that just came out, like the handheld one. Those are the two ones that have like Soma, which is like supposed to be like the reincarnation of Dracula when he's actually defeated for real, like permanently, which is
Oh,
really interesting. I've always wanted to play these two games because those are basically a continuation. I think we talked about this, you and me. Alucard
yeah.
shows up in that game because like those games take place in present day. Like I think Soma starts out with a handgun. That's actually like his first weapon, just to let you
Sorry, which?
a handgun,
Oh,
like an actual
that's weird.
handgun. That's his first like starting weapon apparently. Yeah, and apparently, yeah, that's like Soma is as Dracula reborn as a new person essentially. So that's I've always wanted to play those games. I'm really glad they came out with this collection. I'll wait until it's on sale as I usually do, but yeah, I'm looking forward to playing those myself. Uh, our Borderlands group, like I know who I know who I'm talking about, like
Mm.
Ryan, Chad, and Delana, and myself. We played Castlevania HD or Harmony of Dissonance. It came out for the Xbox 360 and the PS3. It's a multiplayer online Castlevania game up to 8 players, or is it six? I don't remember. I think it may be six. But you can choose like Julius Belmont, you know some other like a couple of the girls from the 3D not 3D, sorry, the handheld Castlevania games. I forget their names now. And one of them, yeah, you can play as Alucard from Symphony of the Night as well. So me and Chad kind of make fun of Ryan. Well, not like fun, but like we're like Soma, and then that's what I say. Then Chad says Alucard because like you can do like double team attacks in that game if you go on top of the character and press a certain button, and they say the characters' names that they want to team up with, and then all of a sudden we go like Soma, Alucard, Ryan. We just go back and forth as Ryan. He's like, I wish you guys would not do that. So that's where that came from. But yeah. Anyways, what have I been up to? Not that much this week. Just I streamed as usual. I had to skip Friday because that was gonna be the day I did my Elgato. I finally got it. But I spent the
Mm.
last and I know you know this, Chris, but I'll say it again anyways. I spent the last 2.5 days trying to troubleshoot it, and I feel like I've hit a brick wall. I can't get any further, I feel. And so if I add it as a source in OBS, the Elgato that is, it's fine. I can leave it run for a couple hours. It's absolutely fine. But I slowly found out, just through trial and error, that the second I add my webcam, it crashes OBS almost 2 minutes on the dot every time. And I have to like change, not even just scenes, I have to change like the entire collection altogether on OBS and then go back
Mm.
to it. And then it'll start working again for 2 minutes. But yeah, but the strange thing is, like at first people are saying, oh, maybe it's because you don't have USB 3.0. Well, no, I know I do because I checked. First of all, my USB ports have the little blue thing which signifies 3.0, and then the other thing is I checked my device manager, and it says 3.0 in there, so I know for a fact I have 3.0. People are saying, oh, maybe it's this reason or that reason, but then I loaded up old school OBS, and the Elgato and the camera work just fine on there. So like the camera I'm using now is the same camera I use for my stream, and I
Mm.
said, they both work independently, but why does it not work together on only slobs? Why, like Streamlabs OBS? Why does it work on old school OBS but not slobs? I have no idea.
That's
It's impossible to pinpoint after that. You know what I mean? It's like, is it slobs at that point? Is it
it
the Elgato at
sounds
that
like it
point?
might be something with Slavs, but I don't know what it would be.
But
That's
then,
so weird because I've never had that issue with mine, but I've got the Gen or the version before the one you have.
yeah, it's
That's
it's
weird.
the cam has been working fine for months. Like no issues. It's working fine right now.
Mm.
Elgato's same thing. It's working fine, but they don't like playing with each other.
Hmm.
What can I do? I don't understand like how I could possibly fix that. So
Like you just go back to old OBS when you need to use that one.
no, I don't want to do that. That's gonna oh, I'm not gonna do that. I really
Hmm.
don't want
So
to.
what are you gonna do? Are you gonna send it back
Yeah,
or?
I got it from Amazon, so I still have most of the 30 days of the refund left. I'm still gonna troubleshoot it, but honestly, I don't think I'll go any further than I am now in terms of actually finding what's wrong with it and pinpointing it any further than it is currently.
Hmm.
So
Well, that's
I don't want to return it, but I might have to because what can I do? I can't really use it with the webcam. So
that stinks.
it does.
I guess you still have a little bit of time to look at it just in case you find something, but you're not holding out hope for how much you've already dug in.
No,
So,
I might as well because I actually saw that I got the HD 60S I think for the Elgato, and um I found out that there's other better ones I could probably have spent a little more money on, like ones that have bypass for like 4K if I ever had a 4K screen, right? So I'm not too heartbroken. Plus, right now I'm using on Windows 10. There's a free Xbox streaming app, so I've been using that as my source instead of the Elgato. But I can't do the 1080 on my laptop, so I was relying on the Elgato to do that. But now that I'm doing the streaming app as the source, I'm still stuck at 720 for
oh,
Twitch. So yeah, that's kind of like the last straw at this point. Like I wanted to keep the Elgato in case, like for example, Metroid Dread comes out in 3 days from now. Like I don't have a Switch, but let's say I did, and I want to
hmm,
stream it. Well, good, I can use the Elgato, right? But that's the only thing on the Switch that you can use, right? But at least this Xbox app on the PC is kind of my shortcut for my console games, so
yeah.
I can just work with that for now. It sucks I can't do anything else aside from the Xbox. Is maybe I want to do like Super Nintendo one of these days, or as I said, like the Switch once I get one, that sort of thing. But it's
It's
super frustrating, and I don't know what to do at this point. And I checked Google extensively, and no one has the exact same issue I do. So it could be
hmm,
my specific hardware. It could be something else. I have no idea.
yeah. I don't know what to say. I haven't run into that issue. I guess as you're experiencing, not a lot of people, no one has, so
Hmm.
that's upsetting.
My car is almost well, it's doesn't even start up now. I've had issues within the past where it just shuts off by itself. I took it into the mechanic and even like the shop. I took it into the dealership, and yeah, no one knows what's wrong with it. Now it won't even start up at all. So I think it might actually be dead for real this time. So that's really
Oh,
shitty.
that's another.
Yeah.
That sucks.
So I don't know. I've been job hunting again, applying for a few jobs. We'll see how that goes. I'm looking for something in my field. So yeah, it's pretty
Here's
slim.
hoping.
Yeah, it's pretty slim pickings, but I'm taking the opportunities where I see them. But so far, no luck on that. Um, what else? That's honestly that's about it. I started playing Undertale on my stream. I did
I
the
seen.
I'm sorry?
I said I seen.
Yeah. One I'll do another stream tomorrow morning, and that'll be the last one because I got the neutral ending, and I'm doing the true pacifist ending now, which you can only do if you never kill a single monster whatsoever in the game. So even if you kill one, you cannot get this ending I'm currently on right now. So I'm kind of I did some I did like the major side quests that opens up to you, and basically where I saved the game, I'm kind of stuck on the path of the true pacifist ending. So I can't really converge off of that at this point. So I'm
Oh,
kind of and like every time you play through the game, like I've had a couple of my friends on stream watching me, and they said, yeah, they're like every time I watch someone play this game, I learn something new. Like it's crazy how much Toby Fox kind of put inside the game. And I know you haven't played it yet, Chris. So I don't want to spoil anything for you. I know you know already that there's like a pacifist ending or a genocide ending or a neutral ending. Like we've talked about this in the past. I know I'm not spoiling that much for you, as small of a spoiler as that is, but still, it's a really good game. I think you should play it for yourself for Halloween. I think it's not a long game. It's really not that long of a game. You're not gonna put that much time into it. But do you have Undertale?
I believe I do. Question: if I was to go through and do the genocide run first, let's just say, how hard is it to? Can you go then back and do the neutral, then good, or do you have to like get rid of your save and completely wipe it? Like how much information will be transferred over to say we know what you did last game, you know? Because a lot of people will do like maybe the genocide run as like the final thing, right? Because it's kind of hence it has a lot of effect on your next playthroughs. So I'm wondering like if you're to do genocide first and then search to then go onto your good paths in future runs, or what do you think is the best way to go through? Should you do neutral, good, genocide, or that's what I'm wondering.
How much of a spoiler do you want? None, a little bit, or
I pretty much
everything?
know what happens. I just haven't played the games, but if you could not have too many spoilers, I'm okay with some. Don't worry.
So option two then. Okay, a little bit. I recommend not doing the genocide first because I know you know who the last boss of genocide is, and that's
Hmm.
legitimately the hardest boss fight in the game. Like it might take you when I said the game's not that long, that boss fight alone might take you longer to beat than your
I
pacifist playthrough.
guess I wasn't
I am
taking
not
into
kidding.
account how bad the boss fights could be.
You
So,
probably I would to answer your question, I recommend doing either a neutral or a pacifist first in Undertale because it's easier and you learn the mechanics and the bosses a
hmm.
lot better.
Okay, and neutral just means play through it like you would a normal RPG,
Neutral
and
just sorry.
I'll go on. I'll let you go.
Neutral just means you're not getting the pacifist and you're not getting the genocide ending. Basically, you
Okay.
fucked up. It's either
Yeah,
you
so
kind
it
of want to
means
kill everything
you
or
don't
you want
have
to
to.
spare everyone in
Right.
Undertale.
So if you kill someone or whatever, that's fine. If you let them go, you just can't go full on one way or the other. It's like I said, if you're to play like any normal RPG, I'm gonna kill a couple guys, get some money, buy some healing items, and then continue, right? So, do more paths open up? Like, if you were to start up the game straight from scratch, never played it before, and try to do a pacifist or true pacifist run, will the entire route be open to you, or do you have to beat the game once before certain routes open up? Like in terms of like relationship run paths and that.
Um, basically, except okay, the game ends at every time in the same spot, except if you do the pacifist run, then you get more at the end.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, if you kill a single monster, or that includes a genocide route. If you kill even a single monster, the game ends in the same spot every time.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure like, let's say I had to beat the game once before certain routes open up or things like that. So I guess, I'd have to do. Yeah, okay, I got it. I'll probably, if I go through, probably will do the pacifist, no, not pacifist, neutral run first, then, and then do pacifist, then, if
Um,
I'm feeling up for it, genocide, because
there's
it could be a slog.
something happens to answer your question. You said not to spoil you, so I'm not going to mention it. But like,
Mm.
if you do the genocide route, and complete the game, every save file from then on has a consequence because he did the genocide route.
Oh, okay.
Toby Fox made this game. It's a very small game in terms of how long it takes you to beat it, but
Mm.
it's a huge game in terms of stuff he just crammed inside. Like for
Okay.
example, a little small spoiler is if you get to the first boss and you kill her and then you reset without saving, because keep in mind, Toby Fox made the game specifically so you only have a single save slot. That's it. So you can't like jump back and forth. It's either you save or you don't. And if you do
Mm.
save, you only have one save spot. There's not multiple save spots. So if you kill the first boss, reset, and then she'll come and the game will call you out for it. The game is smart. It knows if you save scum. There's actually some mechanics like if you talk to a boss who judges you, I
Mm.
think you know who I'm talking about at the end of the game,
I
and
know one of two, but go on.
you don't save and you reset and you talk to him a few more times, he gives you an item. He's like because he thinks like you have some sort of time traveling powers,
Oh,
which
okay.
you as a player, if when you think about it, you do because you're saving and loading the game, right?
Mm.
So
That's interesting.
and the saving and loading aspect of the game actually comes into play in one of the final bosses of the game too. That's all I'm gonna say. So
Oh,
yeah,
so
it's
if you were to do the genocide run first, let's just say, which I don't think I would do because of how hard it could be, no matter how many times you go through neutral and perfect pacifist, you'll always have that scar on your save file because, oh, okay, interesting.
you always have that scar on your save. What you can do if you really want to go against the rules of the game, you can actually go, like whether it's on console or PC, you go into your save file, delete it completely, then start a new game because then it's a fresh
Okay.
game that you can get around it that way as
Okay.
you
So,
but if you don't do that, there's actually no way to get around it under normal
hmm,
circumstances.
interesting. So, at the very least, even for certain as if you want to see, I guess I'd have to YouTube it after I'm done the game to see what he says or what happens, right? Or play through again up until certain points just to see the alternate dialogue choice or not dialogue choice, dialogue he says to you for certain things or that they say to you, right? So I didn't know how much was added into this. I remember seeing this game. I want to say it was Slow Beef who I first heard talk about this game when it came out as like a little demo on phones on like iOS or something. I don't remember exactly what was on. And he was talking about saying, yeah, this game seems pretty cool. And then I heard the game came out. I don't remember if I talked to you about it first or if you were like, or if you told me about it saying you need to play this game. It's really good. Like, sounds familiar. The game sounds really familiar. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think Slowby first, I heard about it from him like a year or two, something like that, before the game finally dropped. So I do want to play through them. I'll do it eventually. I'm sure I own it on something. I just need to find out what it is. It's probably Steam, but I'll play through it at one point. Um, there's a game I'm going to be playing actually probably tonight on stream.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
It has to do with these guys back here. I finally got all my SH figure arts for the Ginyu Force. Okay,
Nice.
I'm all set up here. The last ones I just got were Berter and Goldo. I'm disappointed with the Goldo action figure.
Let me guess. It's either one of two games. Kakarot?
Nope.
No?
Yeah, I don't think he'll figure out the game.
Well, you said it has to do with these, which is your
Well,
figures, right?
it kind of will. It's
No, this way. No.
like yes,
It would be that way.
it is of the Ginyu Force, but it's not exactly. And it has to do something I talked about earlier for what I did earlier this podcast.
Oh, I
as
think
well.
I know. Maybe it's
Oh.
the Super Sentai game you bought as a
Yes.
Kickstarter like years ago and you never played.
Chromo Squad.
That's it, Chroma Squad, yes.
I'm going to play through the game and make the Super Sentai team the Ginyu Force.
Nice. Nice.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I think I want to try that on stream. That's what I'm gonna play. But yeah, uh, so all them, the SH figure arts are very articulated toys. Goldo isn't. The only thing that moves on him is his head, and I can remove his arms to put on other arms. I give him that kind of whatever pose that he does, the other one.
Mhm.
So he's kind of a disappointment, but all the others are really awesome figures. So, but yeah, I'm gonna play through that. I think that's it, really, for me and you.
Yeah,
Or did something else pop up?
no, just I'm trying to think. There was one other thing I wanted to say. I don't remember what. Oh yeah, then once I'm done Undertale, I'll probably start. So on Twitch, I'm doing like I'm calling it Shocktober. You know, a lot of streamers doing like scary games or something. So they call it like whatever, like Spookoween or whatever. Instead of Halloween, I'm just calling it Shocktober, the month of Shocktober. So yeah, Undertale is not really a spooky game, but I think it kind of fits the bill for kind of a Halloween game. I'm gonna play
Well, there's
Bloodstain.
a spooky character in there.
There's lots of spooky characters technically. There's two
I
skeletons.
was thinking specifically the ghost guy.
Sans? Oh yeah, that's right. So there's
Sorry.
and then I'm gonna be playing Bloodstained Ritual Tonight. What else? Five Nights at
Is that
Freddy's.
the 3D one?
Yes, that's a 3D
Okay.
one. The one with Miriam. I love that game so much. It's made by I think Inafune. No, I think that's the Mega Man guy. Who's the
That's
Castlevania? Sorry?
Inagaki? No, not Inagaki.
Yeah, Inafune. I think it's Inafune. He's the father of Castlevania.
Yeah,
And
anyway.
sorry?
I said anyway. I don't remember the guy's name.
Okay,
So
I
many
think
of them.
I'll have to look. It's either Inafune is actually. I'm looking right now. It's gonna
I
bother
want
me.
to say Inafune is the Mega Man. And Inagaki
Yeah,
is
yeah, you're right. Inafune's the Mega Man. Who's the Castlevania dude? Castlevania.
just having father of Castlevania. You probably get his name.
I type in Castlevania father and it comes with Alucard. Okay,
Well, okay. It isn't.
shouldn't it be Dracula, not Alucard? Like what? Castlevania creator, I guess. Let's try that. Warren Ellis. What? Oh, that's the Netflix. No. Oh, this is not
Getting a
going
wide
where.
variety of names here.
Here we go.
Oh, put in Symphony
Koji
of the Night.
Koji Igarashi.
That's it.
That's
Igarashi.
he when he left Konami, he made a Kickstarter for Bloodstained, and now, yeah, it's been out for a couple of years. I think it's a really good game. I played it once already on Steam. I'm gonna play on the console this time on my Xbox. So
I've only played the first of the Nintendo-inspired versions.
right,
So
I'm gonna
I still got
play.
like another playthrough of it to do, but I think they're good.
If you don't mind, I'll play some of the music like really like just softly, just so it's like behind our voices in the background for here, just to let you know, it's a really good game. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing that, and then probably some Five Nights at Freddy's 1 to 4, which is also on Game Pass. And then also, I'm gonna try and squeeze in Hollow Knight if I can, which is another Metroidvania game.
Have you played Hollow Knight?
I have not. That'll be a blind playthrough for me.
Ooh.
So
With DLC or just default? game?
Um,
I believe there's DLC out now for it,
yes.
or is
So
that still coming out?
the Game Pass version is the all inclusive version that has everything. So
Nice.
yeah, there's a lot of achievements that make you play through the game. Like you have to do like once you play through it once normally, get the 100% and explore all the maps. Achievements like there are in most
Hmm.
Metroidvania games. There is, there's like a speed run achievement, a couple actually. There's like a complete the whole game without dying achievement. There's a thing called the Pantheon, where there's like 80 bosses in a row. You have to fight them back to back to back.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's the toughest achievement, but I can do it. I'm a pro gamer. I know I can do it eventually. But yeah, I guess wow, it's been a while. I guess we should jump into some of the news, Chris, if that's
If
all.
we can, because
Yeah.
I've got nothing else really going on. I kind of mentioned what I was up to and such. So if
Yeah.
you are done, we could go on to something. You could start us off here. I
Yes.
unfortunately, sorry, haven't been paying attention too much to the gaming news, but I'm sure you were looking at a bunch of it.
I did.
So go ahead.
I guess the biggest piece of news is something that actually happened just a few hours ago today.
Ooh.
Nintendo, well, depends how big it is for you, right? But
Well,
anyways,
I have
Nintendo,
not heard it, so go ahead.
I think you have. Nintendo had a little what's it called? I didn't see it live, but I think they had like a little like mini direct about Smash, and they finally revealed who the last
Yeah.
character is. And I
It
don't
was someone I was not expecting. Holy shit.
Yeah, why I can maybe you can explain this to me. Like why are people so disappointed that Sora from Kingdom Hearts is the last Smash character? Like why is there such hatred about that?
Wait, this hatred for it.
Yes, so there's a lot of people who are disappointed, apparently.
Well, because they didn't get their favorites in. Goku didn't get in, while Luigi's not in. All the other bullshit characters that people wanted in. I was expecting for the final for it to be a Nintendo property character. I don't know who I would say. I would love Waluigi to finally get in, personally, but I don't know who people were expecting. In general, I'm really surprised it's Sora from Kingdom Hearts, like another Square character. So that to me is shocking, and people hating maybe just because this is the final Smash character that's coming into Ultimate, so there will be no other characters coming in at all.
Yeah, that I guess
That
that
could
would
be
make
the
sense.
reason. And otherwise, like if Sora was out in any of the other, if it was, if, whoa, give me a second. Blah. If he was announced earlier, I don't think people would hate on it so much. But I don't know who people really wanted. Like maybe they wanted someone from a different franchise that wasn't another Square Enix property. So they had like what Cloud, Sephiroth, Hero from Dragon Quest 11, and or no, 8, 11, whichever hero it was. Sorry, and then is that the only Square Enix character? I feel like I'm missing someone. But yeah, maybe people were expecting a different franchise character to show up instead of another Square character. Maybe they want someone from a Konami property, but Konami's got like 3 or 4 characters already in there. Um, if I wanted someone, let's say, from a different franchise, I would have loved to have seen like Wonder Red from One for 101 to show up. I think he would have been a cool character. But maybe they were upset that it wasn't Gino.
From Mario RPG?
Mario RPG. That's someone people have been screaming at Nintendo for years, like for the last 4 Smash games to put in. Basically since he was put into Mario RPG, they've been screaming at Nintendo to put in. Maybe that's why they're upset, because it wasn't fucking Gino. Fuck Gino.
Wait, fuck Gino, what?
Yeah, fuck Gino.
Wow.
When I
Wow.
play Mario
That's
RPG, I don't use those characters. I use Mario, Peach, and Bowser. Those are
them
the people I use. I
them
don't use the Cloud guy. I don't use Gino.
Mallow.
Yeah, I don't use Mallow.
It's a
But
good
yeah,
game, but those
oh,
characters
it is.
are I think those characters for being one-shot characters and only being in that game, Mallow and Gino, they're really good characters, Chris.
Oh yeah, they're good. I'm
I
not
think
saying that they're not good characters. I'm basically saying fuck them instead of use them. But fuck, mostly fuck the Smash community for saying we need to have these characters in. Nintendo doesn't care about them. They don't care at all about them. They're never going to show up in another game for as long as they live.
I
Maybe as a Smash trophy.
I think they're just obscure characters. So for that reason alone, because if they've only been in one game ever, they'll
Yeah,
never get used beyond that, unfortunately, because people literally go, huh? Who are these people? Like, what? Mario RPG came out like what, 96? Like, I remember playing it. I remember
I
renting
want
it.
to say it was somewhere around there. Yeah,
I remember renting it from Blockbuster when I was a kid. Mario RPG. Let's see what year that came out.
it's it's such a good
I was
RPG.
right, 96.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good. Like the characters are good in that. I say fuck them, but I say that as part of a jab the wound to people who like those characters. I'm trying to agitate them. But they're good characters, but you'll never see them again in anything other than maybe Smash as like a as a what do you call it? A Smash trophy or something, right? You won't really see them much outside of that. I don't know why there's so much hatred other than I didn't get the character I want in the game,
Yeah.
right? I think that's mostly it.
I
Uh,
can legitimately understand the hatred that Waluigi didn't get in though.
it's so upsetting he didn't. At all, even at all. It's so dumb. He's the only, from what I could tell from the main Mario cast, he's the only one who didn't get in.
I don't know the Mario cast, well, the
Other than
extended.
Toad, but Toad is like hiding underneath Peach's dress, so
Yeah, that's
he's in
true.
it in some extent.
That's true. That's
Like
true.
Luigi doesn't even show up for like, we'll say part of like, he doesn't ride on the motorcycle with like what's Wario's final smash? Is it the motorcycle smash?
I think so. I don't own the game, so
Like Waluigi doesn't even appear on the motorcycle with him or anything. He's not part of his smash or anything. He's just not in the game. It's like he's the Nintendo character that a lot of the creators just want to forget exists. Unless if it's Mario Tennis, which was the first game he appeared in. If you didn't know that.
um I think I did actually. I remember reading about that.
Yeah, and they just like forget that he exists or that he was. They only put him in the party games. He doesn't get his own game. He doesn't really appear in like the Wario games or anything like that. Just you could be in the party games. You could be that weirdo that people like,
Hmm.
and we don't understand why. But I don't know. If you were to put in, let's say, if you were to put in a character for the final Smash character in Smash Ultimate, who would you have chosen, or maybe a franchise you would have looked at
Like
if you were to choose?
any game, any franchise, or
It
what's my
it has
restrictions?
your restrictions are the ones they put into Smash, which are it has to be a video game character. So you can't have Goku because he's a main guy character. It has to be someone who originated from video games.
I'd have to think about that. Get back to me for that answer. I actually have to think about that one. I can't give you one off the top of my head. It has to be
Okay.
someone who's like I would like to see someone like Kirby's in the game, right? Yeah, he is.
Mm-hmm. Of course, yes. Sakurai made Smash. He wouldn't do a game without his little baby in
Right. Wait, he made
it.
he made Kirby
I believe so.
for like for Nintendo, for the original Nintendo.
I believe
Like the
so.
Nintendo Entertainment System
I
Nintendo.
believe so.
Okay, interesting. I didn't know he worked for the company that long. That dude looks fucking young. I don't know how he's old then. He's actually old, but he looks young.
He's he's quite old and he's put a lot into Nintendo and the games. Like I think he's put more effort into Smash than he ever wanted to into this new Smash game. He's given a lot. But yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. I'm not sure who people really wanted in. Like if you were to do a poll, who people really wanted, because Sora was a character people were yelling at to put in the game for a long time, because
well,
people love Kingdom Hearts, and if you're gonna put someone in from Kingdom Hearts, it has to be Sora. You're not gonna put in Riku because he's like the antagonist, big air quotes on that, because he's not really when you get into the story. But you know what I mean. He's the zero kind of. He's the guy that everyone looks up to. He's got all the cool powers, or he's the shadow version of Sora in a way.
I got it. I know who I want in.
Oh, really?
Yes, Sans from Undertale.
He's already in.
That
He's a
doesn't
me
count.
character.
That doesn't count. Make him a real, upgrade him to an actual real character, not a freaking costume you can put on your me. That's so insulting. That's so insulting. Make him a
He's
real
he,
character and make him have his time travel powers and make him final smash be the literal thing that you do in the final boss fight, like the hardest dodging. All the other enemies have to like dodge. He
and then
puts
they
out.
like screw up on like one, and then all the arrows show up around. Just...
Yeah, exactly, exactly. That would be cool and unique. You can't say it's not.
That would be cool.
And you,
It's disappointing that for like the me characters that they don't have a unique smash. They're all the same. It's like it's based on what type of fighter they are: sword, fight, or gun, right?
mhm.
So they all have just the one. So you never get like a customized smash for a me character wearing Sans' head. I mean, that would be a lot to code for all the me character costumes, but yeah, you'll never see that.
And I love how
I,
Sense talks. He, I can't imitate very well, but the,
he sounds like Seth Rogen laughing.
can I
I'm so upset about Seth Rogen playing Donkey Kong.
can I play? Yeah, we I think we talked about that a little last week, but can I play a little bit
I
of Sans
I'm
talking?
still upset because every time I think about it, I'm like, yeah, Seth Rogen is talking. I'm like, oh god, it just hurts me.
All right, I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear this, Chris, but this is what Sans sounds like.
I unfortunately cannot hear it, but I know what he sounds like, and people in the on the broadcast should be able to hear it. I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I have the stream not muted, but so low I cannot hear
it's fine.
it.
I stopped playing. I only played it for a couple seconds.
But I'm
Anyways,
sure most people listening knows what he sounds
mhm.
like.
I'm sure we're good to move on from that, right?
Yeah, there
Okay.
was something I was going to bring up, but now I don't even remember what it was. Anyway,
Okay.
it was nothing. Um, let's see what other news we had, because I don't know if I dropped the Kingdom Hearts news in there, but yeah, uh, that one is interesting. So, what is also interesting? Maybe some kind of scumbag sellers, if you
Again?
know what I mean. Huh?
Again?
Did we do a scumbag seller kind of
Yeah,
thing?
we did. We talked about how Mario 64 last week went for like, well, not like we talked about last week. I
Oh,
mean,
like the auctions. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's a little different, but I guess it's in the same wheelhouse. But do you like Oreos and Pokemon? What if they did a
Sure.
fusion dance together?
You get something, I don't know, is it foods or is it an animal at this
It's
point?
foods. Oreos. If yeah, I guess you hadn't heard about it. Oreo is putting Pokemon on their cookies.
Hmm.
I don't know if I might have actually not linked this in the Discord, so I'm sorry. But yes, you're getting Pokemon. 16 different Pokemon are I think this has been out for a few weeks, maybe. And I forgot about the news. There's gonna be 16 Pokemon being printed onto Oreo cookies. And some of them are rarer than others. Like Mew.
So is Mew like
Mew
a 1 out
is
of 151 chance or something?
I have no idea what the chance of him appearing in your cookie bag is, but do you want to know what people on eBay think it's worth?
Sure.
I think the highest I've seen someone selling a Mew cookie, one cookie, for $40,000.
What? A cookie.
That's the highest.
Wow.
There are lots of variants in terms of how much it sells. I think the lowest I've seen the one Mew cookie sell for a buy it now in Canadian on on eBay for was something like $170. That's including shipping for buy it now. I think that's the cheapest I've seen.
That's stupid,
And
honestly.
people are also selling the bags of cookies for like $40 or something, or 100 something dollars. It is insane how fast these people are flipping these things and for how much they think it's worth. It is so dumb.
That is dumb, honestly. Like $40,000 for a cookie that you're obviously not going to eat. Like it's food.
But,
It's a cookie. It's going to disintegrate very quickly, like in terms of collecting it, right?
that's why they need to send it to Wally to get it graded and sealed. No, but it's insane. Like I've seen, like obviously that's the highest point. That's not the average. I don't know what the average is, but I've seen various prices. Like 100 to $250 Canadian. Then it jumps to something like 500, then 2,500. Oh no, 1,200, then 2,500, then like 5,000, then 10,000. Like, what is going on? Like, obviously there's variance in between there, but these seems to be the price points a lot of them are dropping at. I'm like, who's buying these for those prices? Even at the lowest point, who's going to spend $200 on a bloody cookie
Hmm.
just to have Mew on it? And it's insane. Like I love Pokemon, but I'm not that big a fan to spend that much money on a bloody cookie.
You know what it
I will
is?
wait if I really want it. I'll wait for my local store to get some in stock and just buy a bag, which is only what maybe like it's under $5 Canadian for a bag. I think it's what 350, $4. So yeah, it's just insane. Like
You know what it is? Have you heard of FOMO before?
oh yeah, I've
Yeah,
definitely heard of FOMO. I
fear of
I
missing out.
buy into it a lot when it comes to certain action figures.
And I hate that because it's a psychological tactic that a lot of companies realize, especially in these, this day and age, it works. It really does work.
Yeah,
People
and
don't,
go on.
people don't want to miss out on limited time products. It's like buy it
Hmm.
now or never have it forever. It's like it works. I hate to say it, but it works, and people are just capitalizing off that fear, the mindset that people have.
Yeah, it's sad because I would say Oreo they would not want people to buy into this. They're obviously going to put out enough for people to get their hands on, and then you find out like written on the bag is certain ones will be harder to get than others. And you're like, oh no, they're completely buying into this, but like it's so dumb. Like every package isn't going to have every Pokemon in it. Like you
Yeah.
might get it's how many cookies in a bag in the 16 Pokemon? You could just put one of every Pokemon at the very minimum into every bag. But they're completely buying into that FOMO, but the FOMO doesn't really help uh Oreo because they're gonna make so much of this product. It's helping the people on the aftermarket, on the black market, because they're just gonna ramp up prices on these, and they're the ones who are gonna profit from it.
Hmm.
So Oreo could just put like every Pokemon into it and have let people have fun having cookies with Pokemon on it instead of putting that FOMO into the bag, like written on the bag. It's so dumb. It's so awful. I hates it. Me hates it so much.
And I'm always blaming Nintendo when this sort of stuff happens. Like when they have limited supply, like remember the NES or SNES Classic, and then the
Hmm.
scalpers are making, money hand over fist. Well,
Yep.
I blame Nintendo because they've been doing this for years. Look at their amiibos, right? Same thing. I have an amiibo behind me on the shelf. I can grab it. It's a limited it's the one with Zelda, like actually like not Link, like actually Zelda and her bird that lets you do the
Oh,
whole skip thing. And I only bought it because I'm like, okay, well, I may sell it at some point, but even if I don't, and I want it, that's the first game I get if I ever get a Switch, right? And I kind of I want that functionality. Except it sucks. I have to buy a form of DLC. I guess it's this way, a form of
yeah, yeah.
DLC before I even have the system or the game, because that's all it is. It's DLC when it comes down to it.
Yeah, it's something that should have been put
Uh,
in the other games. Like
yeah,
there are other remakes or remasters of the other games, like Wind Waker, didn't have stuff like that taken out of the games. Like it was so weird that they would do that. Like Wind Waker, it's not like they gated off. Yeah, there it is. It's not like they gated off the ability to fast travel in that or things like that. So
and I'm hoping I can use this. Like, I'm not sure how. If you look at the bottom of, if you put this section on your Switch, I'm hoping it's it's still able to recognize, oh, hey, there's an amiibo there. And I know
oh,
there's like, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't know what the range is on the thing. I never use my amiibos on any of the games. I open the packages and put them on display.
Yeah.
I buy all the Pokemon ones and I buy the Castlevania ones and the odd other ones like the Peach and Mario in their wedding dresses or wedding attire, because Mario's not wearing a wedding dress.
I hope not.
I still haven't gotten Bowser, because I really want the Bowser one in his tuxedo. I want to pose Mario and Bowser together, where it looks like that they're proposing to each other, and have Peach in the background going,
So
like as if
basically,
she's surprised they want to marry each other.
do you know that scene actually happen? I'm not shitting you. That scene actually happens in Super Mario RPG.
Yep.
Okay, just
I
making
was
sure.
watching Game Grumps go through it. I was watching Game Grumps go through, and yeah, there's a scene in which basically Peach gets like pushed out of the way or whatever it is. I can't remember exactly how it happens. But was it Bowser kisses Mario?
Uh,
Something like that? I
that
don't remember
it's
exactly.
there's one of three. I think it's one of three. It's one of several scenarios. If you have to collect her crown, and then I've heard two other objects. I
I
forget.
didn't
Yet
know there was an alternate versions of these. Okay,
there's
go on.
yes. If you do it quickly enough, she'll give you a kiss. If you don't do it quickly enough, she'll almost give you a kiss. If you do it too slowly, she'll like move at the last second, and you and Bowser will kiss each other. And this
I
happens
didn't know
this
those variants.
this happens in a church too.
Yep.
So
Because what's his name? Not Boomer. Is that his name? Boomer? He
it
kind of
is
he
Boomer.
looks
It is
okay.
Boomer.
He kind of
No,
looks
but
like a
sorry,
weird
Booster.
That's it. Yeah. He almost looks like a weird Wario.
Yep.
But
Before
yeah, Booster wanted to marry Peach, and he was setting up a wedding to force her to marry him, and then Bowser and Mario show up, and hijinks ensues. I
Mhm.
didn't know there's variants of that. I think I've only
Yes.
ever seen the Bowser kissing Mario, the Bowser and Mario like kissing. Like, I've never seen. Oh my god, taboo.
Pretty
But
much.
yeah, if you didn't know about the amiibos, Mario and Bowser are supposed to look like they're trying to ask Peach to marry them. So it's supposed to kind of pose them looking toward Peach, but if you turn them in toward each other, it looks like they're proposing to each other. And Peach is in the back with her hands on her mouth, going, "Oh my God, that's really going to happen between those two."
Yep.
I love
Peach,
it.
you're always the middle woman. They don't need you anymore, apparently. Huh?
Well, I mean, if you finish Mario Odyssey, which is what those amiibos are for, she kind of like shuts them both down. Because at the end of that game, they are fighting for her. Like they're pushing each other out of the way with roses in their hands and a piranha plant bouquet,
Hmm.
trying to show who's the better man. And she just pushes them out of the way, walks past them, and like chin held high, going, "I don't need both of you." So she just walks away.
Wow.
Yep. And then
Wow.
she jumps on the ship and goes, "I'm leaving you two behind. See ya." As the ship starts to fly away, and they're going to be stuck in the moon if they
What
don't hurry up.
what an asshole. Why would she do that, honestly?
It, it's kind of cute how she does it. She's like, "Huh, I don't need you two. You know, if you two want me, you have to, show that you're better than this. You shouldn't be fighting over me." But basically, they kind of look on her face, how she's acting.
I
It
don't
was a
know.
cute little scene. I
I,
liked it.
I
I
don't
liked
know,
it.
man. I don't consider it cute if someone abandons me on the moon and takes the only spaceship away. I'm sorry, I don't consider that cute at all. That's an asshole move. That's a dick move.
Oh no, that part is stick, but the way she acted when they were fighting over her is really cute. I like, I love Mario Odyssey. I think it's my favorite Mario game.
I don't have a
I
Switch, so no comment. I want a Switch,
Yeah,
but
like if it wasn't for Odyssey, I think my favorites would be Super Mario World or Mario 3. I don't know which one of those two I like the most, but Odyssey is the second 3D. No, I've played a bit of all the 3D Mario games. Odyssey is the only one I've beaten, so maybe I have bias on there, but I think Odyssey, because of how awesome it feels in that, and it's probably my favorite Mario game right now. So it's kind of high hopes on whenever I played the other ones, but because I've heard some great things about uh, Mario Galaxy, and that has my favorite Mario girl in it,
uh Rosalina?
Rosalina. Yeah, I like how
I
Rosalina
know
looks.
nothing about her. I know how she looks. I know she has a little star companion, but other than that, I don't know what she's the
Yeah,
princess of or anything along those lines.
something like that. I don't remember the exact story, but anyway, it's uh,
All right.
it's my favorite. Uh, but yeah, overly expensive scumbag sellers trying to sell. Or no, I said that wrong. Scumbag sellers, the upping the price of uh, bloody Pokemon cookies is what we were talking about before we went on tangents.
Yes,
Scumbag sellers, all of them. It's disgusting.
it is.
I don't know how much these are being bought and such. I know when I went to the grocery store, I didn't see them, so I didn't even know they were out yet. So maybe the grocery store I went to sold out, or they just didn't get any in. I have no idea. But yeah, it's awful. So awful. What else we got coming up?
For news, you mean?
News or anything?
So I got another piece of news. So,
Ooh, do tell.
you know, CD Projekt Red, of course, the creators of Witcher, of Cyberpunk, right?
Boy, do I.
Um,
They are pretty cool most of the time.
well, you know, up until Cyberpunk released and that whole fiasco happened, you know, they were considered like the good guys, right? And then came out. I'm sure you remember this, Chris, because you bought Cyberpunk. And then
Oh yeah,
shortly thereafter, you know, the game was a disaster for multiple reasons. We won't get too much into that, but basically, they put out a letter shortly after the launch saying, "Hey, we're sorry we rushed the game. We shouldn't have put it out. We we kind of want to earn back your trust because everyone was pissed off at them at that point, pretty much." People are saying, yeah, it's a good, even PC players who had the best experience at the time of the game are saying, yeah, it's a good game, but it's still my experience is still being ruined consistently by all these odds and ends that are But anyways, yeah, so they put a letter saying, look, we want to regain your trust. We know words don't mean anything, so just like watch our actions and it'll speak for itself. And we hope to get back in your good graces. Sincerely, CD Projekt Red. Essentially, that was it. So now there's been a piece of news that happened in the last week since we had our last episode, Chris. That yeah,
yes.
they are not keeping that promise so far. So what?
So
So
what happened?
you know how CD Project Red has a storefront like Steam, except it's called, what was it?
Good old games.
Good Old Games, GOG, right?
Yeah, or GOG. Yep.
Or GOG, right? GOG is probably better.
Yep.
Instead of GOG.
Yeah. I mean, I think most people just call it GOG.
Right.
So
So the major thing about the storefront, which separates it from everything else, and I know it's the reason you like it, Chris. I never used it myself,
yep.
is that all the games are advertised as DRM free. You download it, it's yours. You don't have to worry about any of the installers or any of the malicious software. Like whenever Capcom releases a Resident Evil, it has like what's it called? I think it starts with the D or M. The anti-piracy
The
software,
Nouveau.
the Nuvo, that's it. It slows down your computer a lot, like a fuck ton.
A lot of Ubisoft games, don't they use that as well?
Yeah, but
Or
anyways,
versions of it?
this one has nothing to do with
Yeah.
that. But you don't have to deal with any of that stuff. Is what I'm trying to say. So recently there was a kind of like a Hitman game. I think I'm not sure which one specifically, but it was one that's like been released in the past already. I think it was an
Okay.
older one, not the newest one. And if you look at the store for that game, it even says DRM free. But once you download the game, you find out, oh hey, it's not actually DRM free. It actually has DRM.
What?
It actually has DRM.
But the
And
store says it is DRM
and
free.
when I say the store, I'm not talking about in the general sense. If you go to the games page on the store, like its storefront, it says for this game has no DRM on the right side, just like everything else, right? And
Yes.
users were not very happy apparently, so they posted a lot of criticism on the forums and started to review bomb this game, saying this is not what I paid for. This is kind of false advertisement. So what happened was, obviously this got the attention of CD Projekt Red staff in the forums, and pretty much an official response on the forums was, "Hey guys, we're sorry that this happened. We totally get and understand. Excuse me. Why you're upset, and we'll kind of fix this, and we'll kind of update the story accordingly. So thank you for bringing it to our attention. However, and this is where the story actually gets a little spicy. However,
Oh,
we do not appreciate the negative criticism, and as such, we will be deleting all negative criticism about the situation." So it's like, what? Like, you're gonna delete all the negative reviews because you don't agree with the negative reviews? Like, that's not how a review system is supposed to work, right? Like,
no, it's not.
I think users have every right to complain and leave legitimate negative reviews. If they paid something and it says hey, you don't have to worry about DRM, and actually has DRM. I'm someone who doesn't honestly care about DRM, but I totally get the point of you you advertise as one thing and it's not actually what it is when you
Mm.
purchase it. So they're getting extreme backlash over this now.
So are they removing only the negative comments on this game, or negative comments blanket over the entire site or storefront? Do you know?
I think it's just this one game.
Well, either way, it doesn't make it any less shitty. Having negative and positive reviews when on your storefront to allow people to know what is the current condition of the game is always a good thing for consumers. You don't want to buy a game and find out, oh, this is broken, or the game's dead, or this game runs really fine, but here's this tiny little issue I had, right? Reviews are always a good thing, negative or bad, for consumers, that is. And it's really shitty that they are trying to not cover it up, but get rid of them, even if it is on this one game. I understand from their point of view, get rid of to stop the review bombing, but it's not helping. They should leave them up there. Steam, didn't Steam get in trouble for doing something like this? Not
Um,
similar to this, but getting rid of negative reviews? Or am I thinking of something
I
else?
think you're
I'm
thinking
sorry.
I think you're thinking something else because what Steam does is they allow all the negative reviews to stay there. Like they allow review bombing to stay there, but they have it's all automated now. The bot goes, "Hey, this game got a lot of bad reviews recently, so probably something happened in the game or something with the developers. So keep that in consideration." So they keep
Mm,
it, but they also point out, "Hey, this is a review bomb, so you probably want to disregard this unless if like there's something
mm,
that's majorly."
yeah.
Going on with the game at the moment. They kind of point out like they kind of direct your attention like, hey, you probably want to ignore this because there's a lot of angry people. But, like
Yeah.
if you want to look the rest of the reviews like all here, look at these because this is like
I
more
guess,
of a
yeah.
fair representation of the game.
Yeah, I guess in Steam they do have like, especially now, maybe I'm thinking of the changes they did to it, where it's now set up like, it's mostly positive or mostly negative reviews, and you can sort the reviews by positive, negative, or what are the reviews over the last month, right? To reflect, maybe a patch came out that broke the game, and you'll wonder why there's all these negative reviews now. I guess
Hmm.
maybe that's what I was thinking of, because I remember the review system not being very good before. That's probably what I'm confusing with. It's dumb that they're blacking out the reviews in general on G.O.G. That is, it's very very bad. And them putting out like the whole reason, like you said, we're saying for me, reason why me and a lot of people go to G.O.G. in general is that it's DRM free. That's what the storefront was built on to begin with. It allows people to be able to play these games without DRM, and you don't even need the storefront like their app on your PC. You go to the website, whatever, download the game. It's on your console or console. It's on your PC until you delete it. You don't need a storefront or an app or anything like that to run it. It's just there, like how old games used to run. And it's dumb that they are now looking at some games and going, well, we'll just put them in for DRM. Maybe it was a mistake. I don't know. Like, because it was an older game, maybe they just Square or whoever uploaded the wrong file to them, right? I don't know. You could sweep that under the rug as, a mistake, we'll fix it, right? But the whole review thing is dumb. If they blanket get rid of negative reviews forever, that's going to be really, really bad. Look really bad on them.
I
I
don't think
hope they don't go that
I
way.
don't
I
think
don't
that
think they will.
no I don't think that was their intention.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, it's more backlash on them, more negative views on them that didn't need to be there.
Yeah, like that's the way they treat their paying customers when they have a legit complaint. Like they're not making good on their word so far. Like
Mm,
yeah, they're updating the game over time. That's to be expected. The same thing happened to Witcher 3. People are very quick to forget that. Witcher 3 when it first launched was not as bad as Cyberpunk, but it was down there too, and now
mm,
it's a really good game. And I'm sure Cyberpunk will be on that same level at some point, but they admitted that they rushed it and that wasn't ready and they should have taken their time and they made promises that they shouldn't have. So that's all on them. They shouldn't take it out on the consumers and just go back in the word after saying, actions speak louder than the words. Well, yeah, they do, but look what you guys are doing. That's terrible at this point.
Yeah, it's bad for them. I Do you know if you can re-edit your reviews on GOG?
As I said, I don't use G.O.G, so I have no idea.
Oh, right, you don't. Sorry. Yeah, I have no idea. If you can re-edit, that could change something because people could then change up. Because I think Steam might allow you to do that or make edits to it so that you can say, "Oh, I'm re-up. These are my this review has now been changed. You know, to reflect what I actually feel about the game now after yada yada." I don't know if GOG allows you to do that. So, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's
uh,
go
no,
on.
no, you go.
I was just gonna say, there's not much else to say. Just shitty way to handle the situation.
Hmm.
Really shitty.
I don't use COG, not because I have anything against it. It's just I prefer to have my library in one place, and that's Steam. That's just for PC at least. So that's me. Speaking of that, that reminds me. I know you don't like achievements, Chris. You're not really into them, but Epic
And
Game
you
Store
don't
is
like which? Sorry.
achievements.
Oh yes, sorry. Go
Yeah,
on.
so Epic Game Store is finally, after like what, 3 or so years, gonna release achievements on their storefront. Like, no,
Wasn't that supposed to be out in like the first year?
yeah, and it's a combination of how the Xbox and the PlayStation achievements work. So, yeah, it's pretty
What do you mean
interesting.
by that?
So PlayStation has trophies, and like you earn bronze, silver, gold, and then if you earned all of them in the game, you get a platinum, right?
Hmm.
Xbox, they're the first ones to come with achievements, so it's not as refined because PlayStation had like 1 or 2 years to kind of assess and kind of do their own thing. So Xbox is each game has 1,000 gamer score, and that's it. Just
Oh, they've
once you
never
have
upgraded that. Sorry.
no, they didn't.
Hmm.
So DLC will add, a platinum trophy again to the PlayStation or like more gamer score as a number, right? Because at the end of the day, the number is very comparable to the trophies because it's like, oh, what's your gamer score? Oh, it's 500,000. Oh, how many platinum trophies do you have on PlayStation? And it's going to be, oh, I have 50 platinum trophies. It's still a number, right?
Hmm.
It's still a number. It's just a different number, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So yeah, and they tell you different pieces of information, right? Like if I tell you I have 500,000 gamer score, I could have completed a bunch of games to 100%, or I could have just like played very easy games, got the first couple achievements, and just rinse and repeat. You don't know. PlayStation is kind of different. It's like, oh, platinum means you've actually did everything. But I could say, oh, well, I have like 4,000 gold trophies, but only 2 platinums, and that tells you, oh, so you play through a lot of games, but you don't typically complete them to 100%. So what's
Hmm.
Epic is doing is it's a combination. So I think I'm making the numbers up because I don't remember what they are, but I think it's like if you earn so depending on the difficulty of the achievement, it will be like a bronze, silver, or gold, and like bronze is like 0 to 49, silver is like 50 to 99. I think gold is like 100 or above. So it will give you like kind of like a trophy, and the trophy has like an XP value of that number. So if you got like a 75, that'd be like a silver trophy, but it also gives you 75 experience.
All right.
Each game has 1,000 experience, just like Xbox is 1,000 G. But if you get all the achievements, you get an additional platinum trophy with 250 experience, and you level up that
Okay.
way. So basically, you level yourself up as a player. Like
Hmm.
you have a level. I think that's how PlayStation does it too. You have a level because the trophies in that and the PlayStation give you a level too, I
I
believe.
think so, but I don't
So yeah,
remember.
it's kind of a combination of the two because they're giving each value not only they're giving you a number grade in terms of how much XP it gives you, but they're also giving you like a bronze, silver, or gold depending on how much it is. So
Hmm.
yeah.
So
So
that's what you mean by mixing. It's kind of both.
yeah.
I see.
So yeah, it's not major news, but I thought it's worth mentioning for achievement people, achievement hunters like myself.
Yeah,
That's it.
I personally don't like achievements. I've had one game spoiled for me because of achievements, and that kind of really put me off of ever wanting to look at achievements
Which
ever again.
which game was that?
Um, one of the Tales games for the 360.
How did it
Uh,
spoil for you? Like what
I
what ruined it for you?
so I was looking through the achievements before I started the game, and it says kill this boss with his name on it, and the achievements were kill him you know, 'cause in the Tales games, like, well, defeat the boss in like less than 30 seconds. But it was defeat blank boss for the first time in 30 seconds, for the second time, for the third time, for the fourth time. Like, oh, so this character who I thought was going to be a good guy, I have to fight like 4 or 5 times. So that spoiled the story for me, knowing he's going to be an antagonist for most of the game, just by looking at the achievements.
I would argue that's kind of on you though. That's just my opinion.
Achievements shouldn't have spoilers in them.
You don't have to look at the achievements though, right?
You don't have to, but they shouldn't have spoiler names on there. It should just be for this, like for that game. It should have been defeat the boss of this chapter under this amount of time. It shouldn't have their name on
A
it.
lot of publishers do have secret achievements,
Hmm.
so that's
That's
kind of
fine.
on them too for
Yeah,
not doing
that's what
that.
I mean.
But
Like, I don't know if in the 360 era if they had that,
they
but
did. They
I
did.
okay, yeah. But I do believe that they should have just had, because I played other games similar to that that did achievements kind of similar. You know, at the end of every chapter you defeat a boss, right? But they wouldn't have the name of the boss on there. It would just say beat this chapter, or you know whatever in this chapter, and they wouldn't have spoilers as to what you up to what boss, you know, a boss name or anything like that. That was my problem with it, is that they specifically put the boss's name on there. And it told me this guy's going to be in the game for this long as a bad guy. And that's what was upsetting for me. Is that the character I thought was going to be a good guy because he was kind of cool looking, um, was not really going to be. Now, again, in terms of story, that's not going to tell me if he's an antagonist or if for some reason my character's just going to have like a fight with him for, you know, we'll say a training fight, or, you know, these two friends are going to test their skill against each other, right? It doesn't tell me anything for story. It just means I'm going to have to fight this guy later. And it still is a bit of a spoiler, right? Knowing who the bosses are. Yeah, so whatever. It's a bit on me for looking at the achievements, but when you start up those games, or you know, you pop in the game, they're like, "Hey, look at these achievements. There's achievements here. You should take a look." Right? Sometimes, or on Xbox, when you get an achievement, it pops up in the bottom corner of your game, saying you got an achievement, or in the top corner, whatever it was, right? So they're all constantly trying to say achievement, achievement, look achievement. So it bothers me that they would put spoiler names in the achievements. That's all. So from then on, I've just been like, I don't care about achievements. Not that I cared a lot about them before, but mostly because of that, because of the spoiler names that some publishers put in. I know some have gotten better over the years, but some haven't.
Yeah, like
Very
I
funny.
I understand your personal feelings about them, but like
Mhm.
you can't deny that like it's a thing that people like enjoy to do because otherwise it wouldn't be so widespread as it is and be on every available platform right now, right? Except for like Nintendo, pretty much.
Yeah, I
I
think
think,
Nintendo's the only one who doesn't have
yeah.
them, or they are very much in the background that you can completely ignore them.
So they are popular enough to warrant, I think, a little piece of news just because
Oh yeah,
Epic
of course.
Epic are really behind Steam, even
Oh
though
yeah,
they're
sorry.
trying not to be. They've been playing catch up, and now that they're done with this lawsuit versus Apple, that we talked about, I think on our first
Mhm.
episode. Yeah, we did. Yeah. So that, yeah, just a piece of little bits of gaming news. That's all there really is to that.
Yeah, it's just a little update that they're putting out something that they said they're going to do a while ago, quite a while ago. But yeah, it's definitely worth mentioning for those who like achievements. There was something that I mentioned off podcast, like almost immediately after the last podcast, that I want to bring up very quickly that you told me you didn't know about.
Oh,
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie.
yeah, I did not know about this.
So, did you see these, not spoiler, but a little bit at the end of the first movie
Uh,
that would show the
Tails?
character, yeah, Tails?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tails is obviously going to be in the next one. People were pretty sure, since he wasn't in the first one, that he would show up in the second one, right? The same human characters are going to show up, or you know, the two main ones, and Jim Carrey are supposed to be showing up again for the next movie. And they showed my boy Knuckles in
Knuckles?
a yeah, Knuckles in a movie poster, or what looked like a movie poster, sometime after that, and the name of the person who's going to be voicing him, and that person is Idris Elba.
Nani?
or Idris Elba. I hope I say his name right. He'll be voicing Knuckles. I'm saying that to bother people. That way.
Who is that?
He's an actor. I don't. I cannot say. Sorry, I don't know exactly what movies he's been in. He's been in quite a few things, especially recently. He's getting pretty big.
Well, you mentioned his name, so yeah,
Yeah,
I thought you like.
just give me a second here. I'll bring up his IMDb because I know he's been in quite a few things and things that you know about. But let me just see here. Suicide Squad as Bloodsport.
Okay, I haven't watched the movie, but okay.
Obviously, Knuckles, he'll be voicing him. Let me see what else. I know there's been a few things. Thor Ragnarok is as Heimdall. Heimdall?
Oh, him. I know who he is. He's been in some of the MCU movies. Okay,
Yes. I was pretty sure he was in some of the MCU stuff. I just didn't know who.
right.
So I want
He
to double check
you
that.
you will like that character because I know you haven't seen Avengers, but he
Mm,
he saves Hulk.
okay. Is he okay? No, I'll wait until maybe watch it eventually.
Okay,
Star Trek Beyond as Krall.
Star Trek
But yeah, so
Beyond. Huh.
yeah, that I don't know. Is that the second or third movie? I didn't like the first new Star Trek movie, so I just haven't watched the other ones. But yeah, he's in a lot. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance, apparently. He was in Thor as the same character, Heimdall. Yeah, he's been in a bunch of stuff like TV and movie and stuff. I don't know how much voice acting stuff he's done. So this might be his first one. But yeah, he'll be voicing Knuckles. I hope. Apparently, when I heard about this, a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. He'll be in the movies Knuckles." I'm like, does that mean people want to hear his voice as Knuckles, or are they just like Idris Elba? I'm not too sure yet.
I hope he does a Easter egg.
I hope
The
he has what do you call it? I hope he puts on a big accent that you don't expect from Knuckles. No,
that's what I'm talking about. Yes, when you go, the Easter egg I'm talking about is just like at the start of the movie or maybe at the very end. Do you know the way?
oh man,
Ugandan Knuckles.
if Ugandan, oh my god, if
I want
they
to see that.
if they do that, if they start putting in memes into the second movie, they have to have a scene in which someone says something stupid or Tails says something stupid, and they zoom in on his face with that stupid Tails meme face, just the bad animation of Tails.
Which one?
And there's, I think if you type into, let's see, the Tails meme, yeah, just type in Tails meme face
Okay.
into Google. And I would love for them to do a
Where
3D version of that and zoom in on his face as he's going, "What?"
where was this even taken from?
I don't know. I have no idea. But if they start doing memes, I mean, how far into a meme do you want to see? Do you want to see Sonic, the weird sex addict meme, like a weird meme of that, or do you want like Twitter Sonic meme to show up, like the weird Twitter version of Sonic? Like,
Okay,
how deep into the meme territory do you want the second movie to go into
this
if they start doing memes?
this meme is basically from some user from DeviantArt, so they probably wouldn't use it because they don't want to get copyrighted from this person.
No, but you could do a version of it. They could do a version of it because they'll be recreating it, really, right? They could go somewhere into that, but how far into the meme territory would you want to see Sonic to go into if they were to do memes? Do you want them to go full in, just dive head first, or do you want them to dip their toe into, like, do a brief quote from him going, "Do you know the way?" And then that's it, and no one ever questions what he says.
My
Like they
ans
take it straight serious.
my
Yeah.
answer to your question is yes.
Thank you. Okay. But yes, that's it. They announced that a lot of the old cast will be showing back up for the main characters, and that it will be Idris Elba voicing Knuckles. So I hope that's cool. I haven't heard Idris Elba's voice too often, although I've seen something with him in it. I hope it's one that people love. would love to hear is Knuckles. So, and Knuckles is one of my favorites. Knuckles and Shadow, they're my two favorite characters for the male characters in Sonic. I guess characters you can think of as male. So
Do you mind if I put you on the
yeah,
spot for a second?
go ahead. I hope this is going where I think it's going.
It probably is. You do the best Arnold voice I've ever heard in my
Oh, this is not going where I thought it was going to go.
life. Okay. I don't know where you thought it was going, but should I even
Oh,
ask?
I thought you were going to ask because I said my favorite male characters in Sonic. I
No,
thought you were going to
no,
ask who my favorite female characters were.
no. I think I know. That Bats girl,
Oh,
probably.
hell no.
Amy?
No way.
Amy?
Nope. Nope.
I don't. Oh, that robot, that bunny girl with the robot arm from the cartoon. Sally?
Cream
No.
the Rabbit and Sally Acorn.
Yeah, that's
Princess
it.
Sally.
That's it.
Those are my two favorite
Okay.
female characters from Sonic.
Okay. Now do Arnold.
Now do Arnold.
There you
Kill
go.
me now and listen to me later, you puny, scrawny man. Is that what
I
you
love
want
it.
to hear?
Yes. Yes. I love it. Okay.
Oh man, imagine if they just got someone completely different that like if they got Arnold to do Knuckles. Imagine that as his voice. Yeah,
Now,
because Arnold can't do any other voice.
of course. Kill
But
me.
man,
Do it. Do it now.
do it now. Get to the chopper. Yes, but yeah, that's all I wanted to bring up because you had no idea that they'd even kind of announced the second Sonic movie.
No, I did not.
I hope in this next movie, sorry, just as a quick, I hope they go a little bit harder into because they showed at the end of the first movie Jim Carrey in Sonic's world,
Yeah.
and he has no hair. He's got like a kind of like a staticky looking mustache. I'm like, so are they gonna like make him now start to turn overweight to that? Are we gonna get egg-shaped Eggman in the next movie or more egger shaped? It would be cool to see him start to go more in that way because I like Jim Carrey and the clips I've seen of him as Eggman. I'm like, yeah, that could work. That seems cool. So the more they lean into Eggman, the better, I think.
It
Anyway,
seems they're bringing them closer to the video game roots. Like now he's looking the part, and then he might have all the bad nicks now after he makes them. So we'll
yeah,
see.
I hope they go that way. Anyway, that's all I really want to bring up. If you don't mind, I'll bring up one other thing
Yeah, go ahead.
on a different tangent. Going to from a voice actor in one thing to something tangent to voice acting, but not really. A manga creator. The creator of the Golgo 13 manga, Saito. Sorry, I just had his name here for a second.
Takao Saito.
Yes, thank you.
Takao? I don't know how.
Takao Saito. Yes, you spotted his name before me. Sorry about that. The creator of Golgo 13 passed away recently at the age of 84. That is very sad. I don't know all of the mangas he's been working on. He's been working on this for a long time. Apparently this is the longest running manga in terms of like volumes. He put out like 201 or 202 manga volumes, and he holds the world record for it.
Wait, I thought
If
One Piece was the longest. That's
One
crazy.
Piece is not at
Wow,
that,
that's
no.
good. I'm glad.
One Piece isn't even close. One Piece is like around 100, I think I
Oh
looked.
wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Goglo 13 or anything about him, so I have really nothing
Uh,
to add about this, unfortunately.
Roughly, Golgo 13 is about a Japanese hitman.
Okay.
So I like to think of it as like hitman slash not really oh, what's his name? The James Bond? Not really that, but it's more of a hitman character. Like he'll get a job, he'll hunt down, his target, get in their head, figure out the best way to get rid of them. And that's what a lot of it is him trying to figure out how to get rid of them, or at least that's what the movies were like. But yeah, it's never really had any spin-offs, or I don't think it's had a spin-off at all until just recently. They did one or two spin-off mangas finally. But it's always been about, I think, this one hitman. who went under the title of Golgo 13. Um, the one thing that I thought was interesting, other than it being the longest running manga, um, or still being produced manga, is before he passed away, he told the company he was working with, "I want you to continue the manga without me if I pass away." So he was still working on it up until this point, and I guess he was training a bunch of people, and the studio was, on how to continue the character and series without him. And he told them explicitly, "I want you to continue my work when I'm gone." And the studio has said, "We will continue it. We've got a team that will be working on it, and we're starting some spin-off mangas of different characters in the series, I think. So it will continue." I don't know how many volumes came out here in North America. I read that only like maybe 13 came here, but I could be wrong. I don't know how true that is. But like it's gotten an anime. It got 2 or 3 live action movies and a shit ton of manga, of course. And I want to see this series continue because I think the movies themselves, just in general, are cool. And it's worth checking out if you like Hitman kind of sell the, I guess, storylines. I don't know what to say. It's just interesting, this going off of the back of like the Berserk manga creator, and how he wasn't able to pass on his franchise properly, whereas this gentleman was able to say, "I've been in the game for so long, I'm definitely getting old. I'll start training up some new guys, and I'm going to explicitly tell people, either this is where I want to go, or just continue it where you think it's going to go," right? Like he's handing down the reins to them. Unfortunately, he passed away, and I want to say he was doing this forever, like for 50 years
Hmm.
or something like that. It was a long time.
That is a long time.
Yep, that's not much to say. I never personally read them, just watched both movies, and that was it.
It says here, Goglo 13, Golgo, I think I said that correctly, celebrated its 50th year serialization in 2018, and Saito celebrated his 65th year as a manga creator in 2020, so just last year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he's been doing it since literally he was 21.
Yeah,
Wait, did I get that right?
that's
No, no, I got that wrong. 19 actually, I think. Yeah, 19.
still, I believe either his first manga or when he first started doing Gogolo 13, I believe he like won an award for it. So,
Hmm.
or he won an award for it later on. I don't remember, but it's one of those mangas that's been around forever that I do believe a lot of people, Westerners, weren't able to get a hold of very easily. If I'm correct in saying only like 13 issues came out here. It sucks that we don't get them, but maybe there's just not a big enough market for them. Maybe when they tried to bring them over, no one was buying them, but possibly when they were bringing them over, manga and anime wasn't super big. You see that a lot with certain manga. They'll start to bring them over or bring over part of it and go, "No one's buying them. Stop bringing them over," right?
Hmm.
So that definitely happened like early 2000s or late 90s, right? So and anime and manga wasn't super big then. Not like it is now. But yeah, I think that's it for me. It sucks. He's gone, but he's leaving behind a big franchise that will be carried on. I hope it continues on well. I'm sure that the company will do well for it. Hopefully.
Is there something else you wanted to bring up?
Uh, no, at the moment you can bring something up if you like. 'Cause I think I did the last kind of two-ish.
So apparently Sony bought um was it Bluepoint Games? Developer Bluepoint Games, and they made the games Demon Souls, Shadow of the Colossus, or at least the remakes of those.
Yes, the remix.
And
Yes, yes.
honestly, there's not really much to say about that. I mean, it's not really surprising because this developer was only publishing games for PlayStation anyways. So now that they're a first party developer, honestly, it doesn't make any difference to me. Like, it's not really that much. Not that it's not really that big of a deal in terms of news, but still interesting to note that they're kind of locked to the Sony brand now. But they were originally anyways. It looks like, but Sony must have really liked what they did with the remakes to have published them or to have bought them straight out.
Mhm.
So,
I have not played those two remakes. I unfortunately had bought like Shadow Colossus is one of my favorite, or I think it is my favorite PS2 game. I
mm,
bought the remaster of it before I found out they were remaking it. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna rebuy it again, just have the remake. And then I look at it and go, that looks so pretty. I want to buy it. I haven't bought it yet, but the from what I've heard from people and what I've seen of it, of that and the Demon's Souls remake, they look so good. I think for Sony, this is a good get. The Bluepoint are really good, especially with the remakes they've been doing. I wonder if they'll continue down the remake route, or if Sony's going to trust them with doing their own game, their own IP or something, or make a new entry point in an old franchise or something, right? It's will be interesting to see what they can do. They definitely have potential, as you've seen. I'm sure you've seen trailers or if not gameplay of one of those two games, and they're really awesome looking, uh, and
mhm.
seem to play really well.
Yeah.
So good get for Sony. They don't say, I believe in these articles, how much, but I mean, whatever. I don't think in a lot of these they'll say the price, but it would have been nice to see how much they bought them for.
Um, Nothing news related, but it kind of reminds me of a tangent. Chris, I'm not sure if you remember this, but back in the day when we were roommates, I remember you playing the original Shadow of the Colossus on the PS2, and you're stuck in the second boss. And I was just like walking by and watching you, and you're like, I cannot figure this boss out. And I said, just out of the blue, because
Oh, this, yeah.
I still have never played this game before, but like I'm looking at this boss and I'm like thinking, okay, Krista doesn't know where his weak point is. I'm like, did you try looking underneath his foot? You didn't say a word to me, but then like you shot like an arrow underneath his foot, and like you got the weak point. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure if he's mad at me that like I spoiled it for him by mistake. I was just talking out loud. I was again, I still haven't played the game. It was just a lucky guess. But looking at this
Mm,
big stone ass dude with feet, I'm thinking it has to be underneath his foot, like the the kind of what's the word I'm looking for, the kind of like typical Achilles heel, sort of thing,
mm,
literally Achilles heel. So
yeah.
do you remember that?
I do remember, and it wasn't like I was upset that you spoiled it for me. It was more like I've been on this boss forever, and Shawn shows up and goes, "Oh, they might be there." I'm like, "Oh my god, it is there!" A bit of like, "Oh my
uh
god," and a sigh of relief that I was finally able to not figure it out, but to see where it was. Because as soon as you said that, I'm like, "It can't be," and then I shot, I'm like, "It is there!" Oh my god! And I didn't see where the kind of glowy bit was, so like down here. So I don't know how long it would have taken me to get through that. That must have been like my first playthrough of the game. But I've never forgotten like all the bosses, how to defeat them since then. But it's it is my favorite game, so it's not like you spoiled anything for me. It's one of my favorite games, or it is my favorite on the PS2, and I remember that. You're just like,
oh,
oh, maybe it's here.
you cut out for just a second, the last sentence.
Oh, I'm just reiterating what I said
Okay.
before. Like you just showing up and going, huh, maybe it's here. And you weren't looking at the game for that long.
No.
Like, oh,
Well,
bit of sigh of relief and disappointment that I couldn't figure it out
to be
after being
fair,
stuck on it for so long.
I didn't mean to spoil it. Like, how can I spoil something if even I don't know? That was just a
Yeah,
lucky guess. Sorry.
yeah, it wasn't a spoiler. It's just, yeah, an observant going, maybe it's here, as you say when you walk by and look at the game for 10 minutes. So, no, it's
To this
the
day, I wasn't sure if you're still pissed off at me for that or not.
oh no, I wouldn't be pissed off at you about that. It's just one of those moments when someone tells you how to do something and you just quietly do it and go and just think to yourself, it was there the whole time. How come I didn't see it? And you just not acknowledge the person, not because of them, but because of you. And you're just like, I can't believe I didn't figure it out. It was in front of me the whole time. That's all. But yes, I remember that's
Okay, I'll let because you linked these last two. I'll let you bring them up if you want. I think we have two more pieces of news.
well, There are two. I do know one is that TGS happened or is happening this week, and a lot of games have been obviously being shown off there. And I think I must have linked an article that kind of shows off a bunch of games on there. If we want to like quickly kind of run down like some of the ones that stand out to you on that list. One I'll say quickly, Final Fantasy Origin, Stranger of Paradise, gets a release date for March 18th, 2022. I didn't know that they were that close to having it completed. I didn't think it was going to come out this soon. I was expecting more, later in the year if it was coming out next year.
Hmm.
I'm personally not looking forward to this. I don't think I'm playing it. But the fact that it's out, do they have another demo or is it just the one demo out?
Apparently, there's a second demo out, which I just
Ooh, okay.
discovered now. So it's actually out for Xbox as well. But this is a like a I guess it's technically current gen. So PS5 and Xbox Series X only. That's it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. They'll have to start pushing these new consoles at some
Yes.
point.
And this is kind of a bit of a tangent again, but Chris, if you type in my Twitch chat, and any viewers who listen to this are free to come to my channel and do the same thing. If you go to my Twitch chat right now and type exclamation point chaos, you'll actually get something from that game. Here we go. I'm not going to say what it is. So if you want to see what it is, you can kind of come see for yourself, essentially. On my
EHAOS, right?
Yes, one word without a
Sorry,
space.
I'm probably gonna spell. Okay, so it says, "I'm here to kill chaos. That's my mission. Looks like chaos has been waiting for us. I know one thing. I want to kill chaos. Me too. It's not a hope, but or a dream. It's like a hunger thirst. You sure chaos is here? This is the shrine of chaos. He's here. We just have to hunt him down. The darkness is so thick I can taste it. This is it, no doubt. Chaos. We're here to kill chaos. I've become
And
chaos."
that's all some of the well, not all, but that's some of the quotes from the first trailer. Because
Hmm.
they people were memeing that the trailer that one dude says chaos over and over and over again in the trailer.
That that's not specifically what he says, but that main character is specifically one of the reasons why I don't want to play the game. I don't like that character. Not saying that the game play will be bad. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. It's being done by Square. I'm sure they'll be good, right? But I don't like characters like that, really. Especially his look. That's, but I hope people are excited. I hope people are super excited and that this game comes out and it's good.
I'm
I'm
not.
sure I'll watch someone play through it. You're muted.
Oh, I'm muted.
Okay, you're
Thank
good
you,
now.
thank you, thank you. I must have accidentally pressed
Yeah.
my mute button.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. But yeah,
Um,
such a quick release date kind of turnaround. What,
yeah.
maybe a year since the first trailer? I guess that's not too long, but still.
Apparently, this demo, the second one, has multiplayer features.
Ooh, interesting. Like group multiplayer or Dark Souls the Invasion multiplayer?
I don't know honestly, but
'Cause I don't know if they're doing the Dark Soulsy kind of invasion stuff. Because isn't
um,
this kind of like a Dark Soulsy-ish, similar-ish combat system style game?
I think so. I again
I want to say it
I
was.
haven't played a demo, so I can't answer. But yeah, I'm not excited for the game, but I'll probably pick it up. I'm not picking up for full price. I saw it was on my dashboard today. You could actually pre-purchase it. I'm like,
Mm,
I'm not paying $120 for whatever they're trying to make me pre-order here. I'm just gonna wait until it goes on sale and I'll play it then. So I'll play it, but I'm definitely not rushing to play on day one either.
mm,
We'll see. And yeah, it's based on Final Fantasy One. It's not like canon, but it's based on Final Fantasy One, and we both know that Chris Sabat, your favorite voice actor, will be playing Chaos. So there's that at
yes.
least.
Well, he's not my favorite. He voices my favorite character. So, in Dragon Ball. I'm
So
not
yeah,
even sure who I would consider to be my favorite voice actor.
I thought it would have been Chris Sabat.
No, he just voices my favorite, two of my favorite characters in anime. Well, not in anime, but he voices Vegeta, and then he voices one of my favorite characters in My Hero. All
Oh,
Might.
All Might, yeah. I've never seen the English version of my hero. So
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right.
um,
Anyway.
there's a lot of games coming out, so I think we should, for the rest of them at least, kind of.
Yeah, well, I was expecting to kind of keep it short, and then we kind of went on. But do you have another one in
Not
that
really.
seems
That's
interesting?
that's really like I have a list here, but that's really the only one that before I looked at this list that I knew of. But one thing that's actually on this list that I forgot to bring up, I was going to bring up was really quickly. So Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox at Microsoft, he just confirmed that Xbox shortages are going to continue into 2022, which is to be expected, right? So if
Hmm.
Xbox is under that when PlayStation's more popular at the moment, PlayStation's also going to have shortages until 2022, I'm sure. So
More than likely.
that's something to be aware of. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
No, yeah, I missed uh that one. Um, yeah, I didn't know about that. So if we really look at a few other things, we got a little bit more news, you know, new a couple more gameplay features for like SMT 5 or new Shin Megami Tensei 5. You know, that's still coming out, of course. Forspoken, they were talking about, their magic parkour system. I'm not really paying attention to that game. We did see, a little bit more stuff for Square Enix's new mobile game coming out, Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier, which is a battle royale, I believe, mobile only game that takes place. Is it 20 years before Final Fantasy VII, or is it 50? I
Oh,
don't remember how many
it's
years.
coming out next month.
Holy crap! I didn't think it was next month, but
Yeah.
yeah. Um, Weird thing about this, because I saw the trailer quickly, I didn't watch the whole thing, is that they'll be going through iconic scenes in Final Fantasy VII. So you'll be able to run through the destroyed church and shoot at people on Eris's flower bed. Well, and I think that's really, really weird that they're doing that. Like, of course, Final Fantasy VII, they look at all the iconic places, but certain places I would think shouldn't be there. Yeah, like I wonder, like, are they going to have you fighting in the flower beds outside of Eris's house? Like, are they going to go that far and go, hey, look, start just murdering people, looting bodies in front of Eris's, like right on Eris's doorstep, right?
Hmm.
Isn't that going to be a little weird?
I
Like,
find I don't know who this game's aimed for because it's a battle royale, which
mm,
I'm personally not into. I don't
me
like playing
too.
those games. But then it's a it's based in the Final Fantasy VII universe, so it's kind of like you want to see these locations, but are you willing to play this game that you don't particularly like for it? Like, who is this actually made for? Because they're not going to compete with like Fortnite or like Apex. Like, why make a battle royale game in a Final Fantasy VII setting? Like, I really don't understand.
Uh, because Final Fantasy VII is hot, and if they can make it to number 2 or 3, at least they made it up there. Maybe they could get some of that trickle down from Fortnite.
I
Someone rages at Fortnite from losing, and at Apex, well, here's Final Fantasy VII. Or as you're waiting to jump into a game in, whatever game, like we'll say Dead by Daylight, and you're taking forever, well, you could just turn on the mobile game and play that until you get into a real game.
it
Or I don't
just
know.
it seems so weird to me. Like a single player RPG is like 9 day compared to like a multiplayer competitive battle royale, isn't it? Like it just
Yeah,
seems like
it's
it's being taught in two different directions right now. I don't know.
but Square is expanding the different types of games that they're making. Like they have some live service games in such, right? So they're just expanding into another little market. They've never done a battle royale thing. All of their mobile games have been like what you would expect from a mobile game. Lots of like currencies in their games to obfuscate, where you're spending your money, yada yada. This is their first like more actiony multiplayer, like actual multiplayer focused mobile game. So it's completely different. It's just weird that set in Final Fantasy VII world, and explicitly they'll have places from the Final Fantasy VII game, and not like you're just on a battlefield or in ruins somewhere. Like, are you going to be going to Wutai? Maybe I don't know. Like, it just seems a bit weird. I'm not going to play it. It's not my thing, but I'm sure I'll watch maybe someone on YouTube or on Twitch play it for like an hour and go, oh, that's what it's like, and then I'll turn it off. Maybe if there's actual story, I'll watch story bits of it, but no interest
That's
in
what I'm
playing
saying.
it.
How can you have a story in the battle
Well,
royale? Like it makes no sense to me.
I think they have. I think because it is. I think it's supposed to be in big air quotes canon because I don't remember for sure. Um, I think it is supposed to be canon. So this is supposed to explain where soldiers started off at, or something, but I don't know exactly what they were saying. So I do believe there's supposed to be story. Just I don't know how much or how it's going to tie in. Will this actually have a consequence? Not consequence, but will there be a reference to this in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2? I wonder, because someone is going to have to be maybe shown in the next game, which will tie into more of Soldier. So I'm guessing. I don't know for sure, right? I
We'll
it's so
see.
weird.
It
Anyway,
comes out next
I
month, so we'll see very shortly.
yeah, well, we'll definitely see. Something to keep an eye on, at least for story bits, which is what I'm interested in that.
Yeah, same.
Um, a new Altair, was it Altair Sophie sequel is coming out. Hooray! I haven't played any of them, but I really want to pick up the
I've
entire Altair
never
series.
heard. Oh, Altier. No, is that
Yeah.
like this
You,
shop teller thing? No.
no, it is
Okay.
Alchemist JRPG series.
I've never heard of this then. So
Cute
you
anime
don't.
girl alchemist. I want to play them.
Yeah, that's fine. We can move on.
Yeah, that's all I want to say about that. Was it a Rudin Chronicle Rising? I think I said that properly.
I believe
Uh,
so.
an action RPG spin-off from that series. Got a little bit of gameplay trailer. Looks all right. I don't know. It reminded me of, oh, what game was that? There was another action RPG where you could swap out, not swap out, but I think you could swap out teammates to get around like overmap terrain and stuff. But in battles, you had all your teammates on this field, and when you did combos in that, like you could actually do combos and fight with them and swap out teammates or tag in teammates during the fights. I remember what it was called. It had a big Kickstarter like years ago. It came out. I want to say it was done by someone or some company that people looked at afterwards and said, I don't like him anymore. And didn't want to support the game. Oh, crap. Sorry, it reminds me of another game that came out like a few years ago. I wish I could remember the name of it. I'm sorry. But something about this combat system. So you could go in, it's like an action RPG system, and on the fly on the 2D plane, you can combo and swap out party members. And it looks like a really cool combat mechanic system in this game. It looks very interesting. It's maybe one I will have to keep an eye on. I never heard of this series before, so maybe I'll take a look at the first one as well. That's all I really want to say. It looks really cool, nice. It's kind of mobile, like modern day mobile-ish style, uh, kind of graphic style, but it looks nice and smooth and very artistic. I like it. Um, anything else you want to bring up quickly?
For the games,
Yeah.
not particularly.
Well, then I'll just mention a few others. Sega is making a new RPG called Sin Chronicle. I did not get to look at this trailer. I will definitely be doing that after we're done this. So I'm very interested to see what they're going to do. A successor to one called Chain Chronicle, I believe. But I do believe this is also an iOS game and Android. So another mobile RPG.
Hard pass for me.
Yeah, I don't really do mobile gaming. I will definitely take a look at it, but I don't think I'm going to buy it. The new Monster Hunter stuff that I was talking about last week is actually an expansion called Sunbreaker, which is going to have a new hub, monsters, locations. I do believe, because I want to say Rise took place in like kind of like medieval Japan. I think this is going to be like not medieval, but old. kind of European style. I believe is what the new art style looked like for the new area. I could be completely wrong on this because there was something else mentioned about Monster Hunter.
Oh,
Oh yeah, no, same game. Monster Hunter Rise is coming to Steam in
yeah,
January.
I was going to say that. I'm like, well, that's something that I probably won't purchase, but I'll talk about
Yes.
here. Yeah, coming to January of this coming year, 2022. So,
I'm expecting the DLC not to drop with that right away,
no.
but it might. I don't think it will. It'll probably come out in a bit after that. Um, what else? I will quickly scroll through. Uh, oh, yes. A game that I've been waiting to come out for years because it was delayed apparently twice.
Let me
Is
guess.
finally going to be coming out.
Let me guess. Gungrave.
Gungrave. Gungrave Gore. Oh, it looks really good. It's been a long time since a Gungrave game has come out. And I'm excited to play this. I don't know if my buddy Rob seen the trailer because I linked it to him, and he's been waiting for this to come out. We were disappointed that I think there was a VR game that came out, and we're like, oh well, we don't have VR, we can't play it. So this will be cool. One thing I thought was weird about this is this looks like a different Beyond the Grave. If you
Oh,
see the trailer,
huh.
it doesn't. Yeah, something about it seems weird. It doesn't seem like it's Beyond the Grave. It seems like it's a cross between Beyond the Grave and Brandon Heat, like in terms of the way he acts or moves. If you watch the trailer, I think you'll know what I mean by that. Maybe I'm very wrong on that. Just something about it seems weird. But if it's a spin-off, or if they're just going, here's another game with the characters, it doesn't bother me really. I'm sure it'll be fine, but looks cool. I don't know if you're only going to be playing as Beyond the Grave, or if you'll be playing as other characters in the series, because they did show the other hitman that he trains in the series. I don't remember his name. The guy in like the kind of, was it a white coat? No, black coat, but he has the little tiny shades. I think you know what I mean.
I
The guy
yeah.
that Brandon trains.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's shown in the trailer, but I don't remember if he's playable. But looks cool.
Yeah,
But
I no idea what Gungrave was until we watched the series together, so at least I have some idea now.
yeah, Gungrave is it's pretty cool. If you if you're into kind of mafia, maybe well, I guess it would be like mafia slash revenge stories. I guess is kind of a good way to put it. Looks good. Uh,
Anything
Guilty
else?
Gear is getting a new character. No, not Guilty Gear. Sorry, I was looking at two different stories. Guilty Gear is going to be at Arc Revo, at the next Arc Revo tournament, which is cool. And King of Fighters 15 revealed its first all new character. Uh,
He's
who's a rival to Shunrei? Shunrai? I'm sorry if I said his name wrong. I'm trying. Let me click on this so I
his
can
or
actually get the
his or her
character's name.
name. Isla. It's Isla.
Isla. I do believe it's female, but
It
she is a
is.
rival to Shunrei or Shunei. Shunai.
I don't know, Shunrai. I don't play the game at all, but Shunrai seems like it's a female name. I could be wrong.
I believe that's a male character.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember exactly because I know I've played them before. I'm not super big into the fighting game, into like the FPC and stuff like that, but I like to touch fighting games here and there. My buddy Rob's more into it.
I am into
He's waiting. He's waiting for King of Fighters. Been waiting forever for the game to come out. So
I am into fighting games, but King of Fighters is something I've never touched. Doesn't really interest me in the past. I'm more of a I've always been a Capcom fighting game person ever since I was a kid and I played Marvel vs. Capcom in the arcade. That was like, oh my god, what game is this? This is amazing.
oh,
Optic
then
Blast. Optic Blast.
then
Behold,
a
Optic
certain
Blast.
game that may be getting remade is of interest to you.
What's that?
Max may finally be acknowledged in his years and years. This is
Killer Instinct?
Maximilian. No, in
Damn.
his nope. He's been shouting for years for
Mar-
MVC2 to get
yes.
re-released,
I know all about
and
his
that may finally be getting done.
I know all about his hashtag free MVC2. I've been
Yeah,
keeping up with it.
it may finally be getting done.
Good.
No confirmation but the people I believe who did the Capcom, um, the Capcom collection, fighting game collection. Sorry, I don't remember the name of it for sure, but I believe they are trying to talk to Capcom and the other parties to say, can we get this remade? Can we remake this for you? So it may actually happen. So, but
Good.
yeah, new character, KOF, first new character, awesome. More fighting games may be getting re-released. Hopefully MVC2 comes out. That would be nice for all those in the game community. What else? I think that was really the last one that kind of stood out to me at the moment. I'm sure other games will come out because these are some of the bigger highlights.
Mhm.
And I'm sure there's tons of other games that we'll miss on and such that may just pop up in the future. And you said there was probably one more thing. What
Yeah,
was,
it was
if you want
something.
to, you could go ahead.
Something you linked, but I have no idea what this. Honestly, Dirty Pair. You linked it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I've never seen Dirty Pair. I haven't even heard of it till now, honestly. So I'll let you handle this one.
I That's the only thing I didn't click on as a link that I need to talk about. Oh my god. So, Dirty Pair is a good old classic anime about, I believe, a pair of bounty hunters. I want to say is what it was. Sorry if my knowledge on it is wrong, because I watched I believe it was the OVA series, or what, like 20 years ago.
Oh
And
my God.
then I was going to watch the originals, like the rest of the series. So, where
Apparently,
I'm talking, wait, go on.
1985 television anime. That's
Yes.
old. That's
It's
old, dude.
old. So what we're talking about is that let me actually bring it up so I can actually talk about it better. Right, Stuff and Nozomi Entertainment announced on Friday that they will have a Kickstarter campaign to fund an English dub on Blu-ray of the original Dirty Pair television series. Now, the rest of the series, so the feature, the movies, and the OVAs have all been released on DVDs with English voicing for years, but the original series had only come out here with Japanese. It's never gotten an English dubbing.
Hmm.
So this will be the first time it'll get dubbed and it'll get Blu-ray release. And I do believe they said um, because they've met their goal. They met the funding goal like pretty fast on this. So I do believe they have like the rest of the month to meet stretch goals. They did say this isn't the only way people will be able to get this. I do believe after backers get their copies, it'll be 6 months before we'll hit stores. So that's good. People will be able to buy it normally. Don't lock it off to Kickstarter. That would be kind of shitty.
Yep.
Kickstarter is obviously a way for you to back it, and you will get some extra stuff in it. Get your name in the credits and stuff. Nice little rewards. Um, the one thing that I also thought that was cool about this is they also announced that through this they will be they will be releasing the rest of the series, like so OVAs, featured, and movies. They'll be releasing like the rest of the series onto Blu-ray as well. So this will all get Blu-ray releases. I don't know if they'll be getting upscaled or remastered. I don't know how far into that they'll be doing, but it will at least be getting re-released. I believe that the series should be getting remastered, but hopefully it comes out well. I am probably going to back this for the Blu-ray release of the original TV series, and then I'll wait for the Blu-rays of the rest of the series to come out in the stores. Because as of right now, I could get the rest of the series on DVDs for like $30 or $40 each, and to get everything, I right now I do believe it would cost like it would cost less than if I was to back the entire franchise in the Kickstarter. For the Kickstarter, it would be like a $250 tier or up, but you are getting a lot more stuff like plastic standees, not autograph, but some poster cards and a bunch of other stuff like naming credits and stuff. But I don't really need all that extra stuff. I just want the DVD. I just want the Blu-rays. So I'm probably gonna back it just for the Blu-ray of the TV series, and then I'm gonna go and wait for the Blu-rays to be released into the public and pick those up.
Now, as someone who's never even heard about this until now, is this something to actually get excited over?
For those who like the original show, yes. For those who like the old anime, yes. If you've never seen it, I do believe that this series has been released, the original TV series, and that I do believe it has now been released onto uh, not Funimation. What's the other guys?
Um, Crunchyroll?
Crunchyroll. So if you don't know if you're going to like or not like the series, you could go watch it on Crunchyroll, I believe. It is definitely available on something to stream. So go check it out. It's definitely like an old anime series.
Okay.
I don't know if it's something to get excited about. Like it's not like one of the huge ones, but like it was kind of big back in the day. It was one of the few that came over, in a way. So those who were watching anime back in like the 90s will know what Dirty Pair is. But it never got like super big here. I'm just glad to see it coming over and it finally getting a remaster. Or
Hmm.
not remaster, a English voice. I didn't know that this never got dubbed. So I posted it here because I'm looking at it going, I can't wait to see it. I like the Dirty Pair series. So and this will be the first time I get to watch the original TV series. I've watched like the OVAs and I think the movies. So it'll be nice to see the entire franchise now.
They
And
rev
it being put on Blu-ray means and on streaming services means here guys, check it out. Right? Just another way for people to get it.
the girl who is voicing one of the girls in the show, she has a long cast list here. Like again, I didn't see Attack on Titan in English, but she played Hanji like the commander, like the girl with the eye patch from Attack on
Oh,
Titan.
okay.
Again, I haven't seen I've seen the Japanese version. I'm not sure how the English version sounds like.
Hmm.
In Dragon Ball Z, she just played a TV reporter. Never mind.
Yeah,
What
okay.
else?
Is she
Um,
fairly newish or does she have like a long list?
she has a long list.
Oh, okay. I wonder if it's the same voice cast. I never did look into that.
Slayers, the motion picture
Excuse me.
is I never seen Slayers as Meliroon? Meliroon? I'm not sure who that
Ooh,
is.
okay.
Queensblade, what else?
Queensblade's a good one.
Pokemon TV is K, whoever the K is. Neon Genesis Evangelion TV, there's no character beside it.
Hmm,
So who knows? It says TV, so I'm not sure what that means. Instead of the
TV series.
I guess, but it doesn't have a character.
Yeah, so just background
Gal
character.
Force, I'm not sure what that is.
Gale Force is another one from back in the day I like.
Okay.
I would
Dragon
love to get that on DVD or Blu-ray.
Dragon Half? I
Same
think
with Dragon Half.
yeah, Mink. She played Mink, whoever that
She
is.
plays Mick in the English version?
I'm
Oh, I
not
didn't know
I've
that.
never seen that series, so
I've got it on DVD, I believe.
Cutie Honey as Honey Kisagari.
Please. Oh, okay, well, here we go.
Brynhilder in the Darkness as Kotari Takatori. I don't know any of
Well,
these
she's been
people.
doing anime voices for quite a while. She was
Yes.
doing like Dragon Half and such.
Yep.
Okay, that's
So yeah, just a quick bio of her.
yeah. I'll have to double check just to see if it's the same two, at least for the two main cast members, if they're the same. But I almost expected it to be if they've been voicing for that long. But if it's not the same, I hope they do good voice work. Because I don't know if in the other stuff if it's the same voice characters or not, like same voice actors or not. I don't know for sure because we know back in the day they would swap out characters just in the middle of series sometimes, like voice actors. Like Goku had like 4 voice actors in the
Yes.
original dubs. So
Well,
it's not
at least in the dubs we got in Canada, to be clear, because the dubs we got
yes,
in Canada were different at the
the
get-go.
ocean dub.
Yeah, the Ocean dub were like I think they kind of converged into like the same. The Ocean dub stopped at a certain point because Funimation kind of got all the rights, but up until that point, there was like several different companies doing Dragon Ball Z at the not exactly the same time, but more or less the same time.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much something like that.
And
But yeah, mm,
Mega Man from the Mega Man cartoon was also Goku. Dun dun
which
dun
Mega
dun,
Man cartoon?
super fighting robot, dun
Oh,
dun dun
Super
dun,
Fighting Robot
Mega
Mega
Man. Yeah, that was the same voice actor. Goku and Mega Man shared the same. That's not even the same voice actor, the same voice too, actually.
Man. Oh my God, really? I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah. And something again, my superpower is like I can recognize voices very easily when it comes to this sort of things. And yeah, that was the same person. Mega Man and Goku, same exact person, same voice.
Hmm.
Same. He didn't.
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah, speaking of that, like if we're, I think that's all the news, but I would have to say, I think actually I know who my favorite voice actor is.
Oh, okay,
Um, so let me bring up his name here. So if you want to stall for time,
okay.
just about anything.
So yeah, I've something I forgot to say was I've been playing the Diablo 2 release too. Yeah, it's kind I've been playing very casually. You can play like a second job almost and like farm gear, but I haven't been really been doing that. Also, if Metroid what's it called? Shit, Metroid
Right?
Dread comes out in 3 days from now. I guess 2 days
Three
from now.
days.
2 days from now for me actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't think, I thought it was like,
yeah. If I had a Switch, I'd be playing that, but yeah, I can't really purchase a Switch right now with my current situation. So I really want to play that game very badly. And it's funny because one of the news articles I saw was Metroid Prime game as a whole is less memory, takes up less memory than a Call of Duty update. Dread is only like 4.1 gigs
wait, for size?
for size. 4.1 or
Wow.
was it 6.1? Anyways, I think it was 4.1 gigs.
By the
I'll
way, that's small.
let me check. But yeah, and like a typical Call of Duty update is like 10 gigs. So it's like look at Nintendo how much like granted it's a 2D game, but still 4.1 gigs
Hmm.
for such a good game. Well, we know it's going to be good, right?
Yeah. So
I've
I found the voice actor. He was also Power Ranger.
oh, let me guess. Because this is the most of all the Power Rangers, he's done the most voices, so there's a very good chance it's Johnny Young Bosch.
It's John Young Bosch.
Yeah.
He also he voices Ichigo Kurosaki in Bleach. He voices Kaneda in Akira. He voices like a lot of characters I like.
You know what?
Yeah, I believe Vash the Stampede as well. Artemis and Sailor Moon Eternal. Like just a lot of shows and games and that every time I hear his voice, I'm like, I know who that is. I like this character, and I think he's one of my favorite voice actors. He made like so. I'm gonna say, I usually when I think of my favorite voices, he's usually one of the ones that just pops into mind. Like this is the guy. This is him, and it's probably most because of like Ichigo and Akira and stuff like that. So
Yes, that's the one answer that is correct, Chris. I agree with you for that. I
you know
agree with
what's
you.
weird? Every time I think of Power Rangers and that, I go, oh yeah, they're cool and that, and someone says, yeah, in oh fuck, I say his name wrong. Jesus, sorry. Johnny Young Bosch was the Black Power Ranger. I'm like, no, he wasn't.
Yes, he
And
was.
then I think I'm gonna go, oh my god, he was. I
Yep.
just forget every single time when I'm thinking of Power
How do you forget
Rangers
every time?
because I think of him as a voice actor, not as an actor. That's why.
So
Mm,
I was right. Metroid Prime is only four Prime. Metroid Dread is only 4.1 gigs.
wow, I didn't think it was that small. Wow,
Yeah.
holy crap! I don't know if I'm getting it right away, but I do want to get it.
God, I
I think
want it so badly, but I can't. I don't have a Switch. I don't have a Switch. I can't afford one right now with my current
you can't get
situation.
one
So
just yet.
no, I shouldn't buy a Switch right now. Yeah,
Soon, but not now.
not soon. Not soon. Anyways, I think at least for me, I think that's it. That's it for me,
Yeah,
Chris.
I think that's it. If there's anything else, there's no point in talking about it. We've rambled on for quite a while.
Yeah, we
Um,
can wait till next week.
yeah, so I think I'll start the closing here. Uh, I think if you guys want to get a hold of me or for whatever reason, I'm on Twitch under underneath Prince_Kaboom, and Twitter under was it at CS Shebang? That's CS or CSCHABANG. If you just want to check out, me posting uh, pictures or retweeting stuff about kaijus and Super Sentai, whatever else I find humorous. And uh, in a few hours, 2 or 3 hours, probably, I'm probably going to start a stream of what was it called?
Chroma Squad.
Chroma Squad. Thank you.
When,
But yeah, that's it for me of where you can find me and you.
when your co-host knows the name of the game better than you that you're about to play.
I'm really bad with names, all right? Super bad with names. I can't even remember Johnny Young Bosch's name.
This is true. I forgot. This is very true.
I had said it like a minute before.
Yep. You can find me on Twitch and on Twitter under the same name, Zorb_Zex. Yeah, I stream, at least for now, I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays on Twitch. Usually starting at 9 in the morning EST, and I go until at least 3 p.m. in the afternoon. I'll have a bonus stream this Saturday. I know I keep saying that, but I keep pushing it back. The last week, what happened was I actually canceled one of my streams. As I said, I had 2.5 days of troubleshooting. Hopefully this week we'll do the Final Fantasy X speed run that my community met. They raised 100,000 channel points for me to do this. So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
it's going to be a
Was
12.
that a was that one viewer?
No, no,
Okay.
no. You can only donate 2,000 points per day per person. So
Oh, it's like okay, that's something I don't know about on Twitch.
yeah, it was
Okay.
a 30-day challenge. So we met
I
it.
see.
Our community met it. I'm gonna try and fulfill it this week. It'll be the third Saturday I say I'm gonna do it. So, but to be fair, I had some issues the last couple. So
Yeah,
it is a bonus
me either.
stream on Twitter. Yeah, I should use Twitter a lot more often. I do use it every day. I should be posting on there more often than I do, and I'll try to do that. But yeah, I do post when I go live on the Twitter as well. I use it for that at the very least. But yeah,
Mhm.
Twitch is going to be fun, I think, this week. Tomorrow morning I'll be doing Undertale, finishing that off, and then we'll jump into Bloodstained for Shocktober, and then we'll see what other games we want to play after that.
All right.
That's it for me.
Well, that's it for you. That's it for me. I think that's it. We're done for the week. Thank you guys for checking out the podcast, whether it's video or other or audio. But take care till next time. Take care, Shawn.
Yep. Take care, Chris. I'll see you guys next week.
See you.
Peace
Bye.
out.